Ok, bon on est bien, on est bien, on est bien, on est bien, Alors, bon bah Bapt et Chiwi sont déjà là, mais ce que je vous propose, c'est qu'en attendant qu'il y ait éventuellement plus de monde, parce qu'on a vu qu'il y avait du monde parfois le samedi maintenant, on aille pêcher. On va aller pêcher les genre 3 poissons qui me restent à pêcher. Ça va être génial. Ça a l'air d'être des poissons pas trop rares. C'est juste que je suis pas allé encore dans leur zone. Donc ça devrait aller assez vite. Faut qu'on s'arrête. Mais sinon je peux vous montrer. Non mais j'ai juste cliqué sur l'écran pour reprendre le contrôle du jeu, t'es relou. On est à 92% là du poisson. Hein. Donc si on peut avoir tout ça juste avant de se mettre à lire tout le lore, ça serait cool. Ça va, on m'entend bien, le jeu est pas trop fort, tout ça, tout ça. Également, on reviendra là après, parce que en fait j'ai réalisé que pour les arènes, les attaques de Masamune elles sont évitables, c'est juste qu'il y a beaucoup d'attaques avec une onde de choc, mais de temps en temps il fait une attaque sans onde de choc. Et on peut taper à ce moment-là. Et enfin, j'attends que Excel s'ouvre pour me rappeler où sont les derniers poissons, pardon. Et enfin, je me suis rendu compte qu'il y avait une arène avec A2 qu'on n'a pas clear aussi. Enfin, on l'a clear, mais on n'a pas clear le challenge spécial. Et le challenge spécial, il a l'air très tendu. Mais je suis vite fait repasser sur mes plugin chips. Si on a du bol, ça arrivera, ça suffira à carry un petit peu. Mais enfin, on ira try pour voir si ça passe quoi. C'est le genre de challenge où il va falloir qu'on soit niveau 99 avant. Donc si on a le temps, on fermera un peu. Mais tout ça, on le fera une fois qu'on a chopé les derniers poissons qui nous manquent et on ait lu tout le lore. Donc là va avec les weapon story et tout. Désolé, le Excel à 97%. Voilà, alors. On a 3 poissons qu'on cherche. On a le bloatfish, qui peut être devant la maison d'Emile, ou à côté du missile. Enfin, pas à côté du missile, mais à Flooded City. Flooded City, j'ai beau avoir pêché, j'ai toujours pas vu. On a le Arowana Machine, qui est dans le ravin sous le pont de bois, donc où on avait déjà commencé à pêcher une fois, mais on n'a pas eu le temps de la voir. Et le Twinfish, qui est aussi devant la maison d'Emile. Donc tout est à City Ruin. Je pense que ça devrait aller vite, parce que j'ai pas l'impression qu'il y ait 36 trucs devant la maison d'Emile. Pour ça, on va aller à City Ruins, probablement Center. Bon, ça va, vous, votre semaine s'est bien passée? Tout va bien. La forme, la pêche. Je vous préviens d'avance, hein, je risque de bailler pas mal dans ce stream. Pas parce que je suis fatigué, bizarrement. Je me suis un peu réveillé tard et à l'arrache. Pour ça que je ressemble à rien. Mais je vais mettre la lumière derrière. Mais on s'est rendu compte que quand je lis de l'anglais, j'ai tendance à bailler. Donc c'est juste un rappel pour ça. Enfin, quand je lis de l'anglais au doigt. Génial, on est pile en face de là où on veut aller. Ça va, on est en plus déménagement et carton là. Ça veut dire que t'as plus fini T'as fini le déménagement? Ou tu voulais marquer en plein et c'est l'autocorrect? Bon courage du coup. Hop. Oh! Mais excuse-toi. Ouais, c'est la racine que j'aurais voulu là. M'a fait mal en plus. Regardez les dégâts que j'ai pris. Et oui, moi tranquille. Un peu plus de trucs à faire cette semaine au taf, ça faisait un peu plaisir. Et oui, voilà. Bah là, le truc, c'est quand même le dernier stream sur le jeu, c'est un peu la tristesse quoi. Mais... Et mon sens d'orientation génial a fait qu'on n'est pas du tout passé en face, mais par contre, j'ai réussi à me paumer quand même. On va faire le tour par là. Voilà, c'est le soin. Alors, je crois que d'ailleurs, j'ai d'équiper le plugin chip que j'ai créé pour le... Ah non, c'est le plugin chip de farm. Parfait. C'est ce qu'il faut qu'on garde. Mais ouais, j'ai juste eu le temps de pêcher un peu plus d'ailleurs pour les trucs vraiment rares, vraiment relous. Comme je disais avant, j'ai fait que dans les zones où on avait déjà fait tenter pendant les streams. Ouais, on y est presque. C'est même là si je m'abuse. Oui. Ouais, bon, je peux pas pêcher là. C'est vraiment, faut rentrer dans le truc et aller jusqu'à la maison des mines. J'ai fait un truc que j'ai pas fait depuis des mois hier, je suis allé au ciné. Aller voir le film Visiteur du futur parce que j'ai vu le truc, il y a eu un élan de nostalgie qui s'est installé en moi. C'est un petit film sympa. C'est bien le film, bah c'est juste ouais, petit film sympa quoi. Je suis très content pour François Descraques qu'il ait enfin pu le mettre aussi, faire son film au cinéma. Parce que je sais que c'était un peu un rêve de longue date pour cette série. C'est pas un film exceptionnel, les plot twists surprennent pas des masses, etc. Enfin au niveau de l'histoire, etc. Mais honnêtement, c'est un très bon moment, il est divertissant, il y a des blagues qui sont un peu vraiment rigolotes. Et qu'est-ce que je voulais dire? En fait, le truc c'est que surtout, quand t'as une série que t'aimais beaucoup, alors là c'était quand même vieux le Visiteur du futur, la vache les dégâts. Quand t'as une série que t'aimais beaucoup, quand tu vois le moment où elle va être adaptée dans un autre format, t'as toujours un peu peur d'être déçu. Et même si, voilà, comme je dis, c'est juste un bon film de divertissement, quoi, j'ai pas été déçu. Et c'est ça. Alors, comme vous aurez pu le voir, il y a des trucs qui tombent pas bien dans mes chips. Là. Déjà, vous verrez que j'ai quasiment plus jamais mis de trucs de défense, parce que en vrai... Bon, il suffit juste de pas prendre de coups, quoi. Non, c'est que normalement on a plus trop de raisons de se battre là, donc l'idée c'est de facilement défoncer les ennemis quand on les tape. J'ai mis le item scan, mais j'ai pas mis le item pick-up. Ah oui, mais je l'ai pas mis parce qu'en fait, en vrai, on s'en fiche. On a plus besoin d'items dans le jeu. On a déjà collecté tout ce qu'il y avait, c'est pour ça que j'ai fait ça pour faire de la place. C'était vraiment pensé comme le moveset pour farmer là. Alors certes je vais prendre cher mais je suis je suis en heal quand je tue des ennemis. Non, t'es sérieux? Je tape fort, l'idée ça va voilà vraiment tu évites les ennemis. D'accumuler beaucoup d'XP mais on ira faire ça éventuellement si on a le temps à la fin. Non et puis ouais pour le film bah, c'est juste sympa de revoir aussi des acteurs qu'on n'avait pas vus depuis longtemps quand on regardait la série quoi. Ça reste cool. Il y a pas mal de références assez subtiles, je suis sûr de pas toutes les avoir d'ailleurs parce que la série a beaucoup évolué depuis la période où je la regardais. Enfin elle a évolué, il y a eu d'autres formes de médias surtout. Yes, que je n'ai pas suivi, genre des romans et des romans. Globalement, ouais, ça faisait plaisir. Hop, alors c'est ici qu'on... Est-ce que j'ai besoin d'aller aussi profond en fait, je suis en train de me demander, parce que c'était peut-être juste l'eau dans laquelle je suis tombé qui compte. Ouais non, parce que là-bas il va y avoir les deux ennemis de base, mais il n'y a plus d'eau là. Ou alors, je sais pas s'il y a de l'eau dans la maison. Peut-être non. Ah non, ça y est, il n'y a pas d'eau là. Donc c'était là-bas. La vache, on bouge pas vite. L'environnement est grand en même temps, mais quand même. Allez, time to fish.
Commencing.
À la lumière, ça va faire pour poisson. Bah voyez déjà. Vous voyez là, il y a déjà des poissons dans les besoins. Twin fish, donc c'est un des deux de la zone. Peut-être que si on a du bol, de toute façon il n'y a pas beaucoup d'autres trucs qui sont pêchables ici parce que bah faut déjà le trouver quoi. Un petit peu radioactif ce poisson quand même. Il y a du courant. C'est incroyable que ça puisse paraître dans cette petite lac, il y a du courant. Cette petite lac, cette petite lagune, cette mare. Ah bon, il y a toujours des carpe-koi mécaniques. Ah non, c'est une normale. C'est une normale. L'autre poisson qu'on cherche, c'est le bloatfish. J'ai déjà trouvé le bloatfish machine plusieurs fois. Et le bloatfish normal, pas encore. Ok, donc elles sont pas machines, mais elles sont noires ici. On a vu les un petit peu colorées, on a vu les dorées, et il faut voir qu'il y a aussi le modèle où elles sont noires ici. C'est logique, c'est une grotte, c'est pour se cacher des prédateurs, du coup elles sont noires. Mais j'ai pas l'impression qu'il y ait beaucoup de prédateurs non plus pour les petits poissons ici. Oh là là, un killifish, c'est incroyable. Je vais plus voir le pod. Ah, c'est bon. Encore un killifish. Encore un killifish. Bon, ça va faire bizarre hein, quand on va arrêter la série là. Je me représente pas encore. Parce que je sais qu'il y a toujours pas mal de trucs à faire. Comme je le répète à chaque stream, faut déjà qu'on aille faire la fin E sur Réplicante. Faut qu'on finisse là sur Automata les 2-3 derniers trucs qui nous restent. Ça compte tellement de lore que t'expliques c'est des poissons. Ah bah on va aller lire les descriptions des poissons. Hein. Mais là je me représente pas encore parce qu'après il y a encore la fin E de NieR Réplicante, plus quelques achievements qu'on n'a pas encore sur Réplicante. Mais qu'on va pouvoir faire au passage. Oh merci pour le follow AlexBR117. Du coup je me suis perdu dans ce que j'étais en train de dire. Encore une carpe. Hop, 2 secondes. Ah, c'est ça, c'est bien AlexBR117. Donc il y a ça, il y a le stream des raids. Il y aura probablement un stream récap sur Automata et sur la fin de la série. Et ce sera déjà bien. Ouais, bon c'était pas bon plan, faut que j'en vois plus 60 parce que sinon je vois pas s'il bouge. Ouais donc à vue de nez, je sais pas combien de temps ça va prendre pour Réplicante. Je dirais 3 streams peut-être. Sachant qu'il y en a, ça va être les bonus, hein. Les streams achievement de speedrun notamment, ça va être assez bonus. Pour FF14, je pense qu'on va faire un très long stream. Genre sur un samedi après, un truc comme ça. Peut-être la semaine prochaine, on va. Faut que je vois s'il y a des gens. JEU, tu fais quelque chose samedi la semaine prochaine? Je vais avoir besoin de gens pour mon full party. Et ouais, pour la branche E de Réplicante, au pire ça fait 2 streams, parce qu'en fait, vous verrez. Mais il faut refaire le début du jeu, et après on peut avancer. Mais je sais plus combien de temps ça met le début du jeu pour arriver jusqu'au moment de la branche E. Ni combien de temps la branche E, mais... Je pense qu'elle va pas être très très longue. Peut-être en un stream ça tiendra. On verra lundi. Alors non, pas lundi d'ailleurs. Lundi je suis pas là, mais figurez-vous que mes plans du mardi ont sauté. Donc on va faire le stream mardi, la semaine prochaine. Faut encore que je confirme avec ma copine si jamais ça va. Mais normalement ça serait mardi. À chaque fois que le bot fait no response, je repense aux paroles d'une des chansons de Guilty Gear Strive. Je crois que c'est Find Your Own Way qui est le thème de Soul Bad Guy. T'avais beaucoup de trucs à bouger chez vous pour ton déménagement? Parce que j'avais l'impression que comme t'étais pas là depuis longtemps, t'inquiète pas grand chose. Petite carte, ouais c'est génial, mais ça nous donne pas le bloatfish. On veut un gros poisson rond. Gros. Et bah voilà. Suffisait de demander. Allez, on se casse. Ah, un autre truc que j'ai découvert, vous saviez, il y avait le truc Taunt Up là, enfin il y avait un tuto qui était de faire Taunt Up quand on avait un perso qui avait pas de taunt. En fait, figurez-vous que faire ça, ce qui était l'input qui était précisé, bah ça taunt les ennemis. Genre leur flasher les yeux. Bon, je les ai déjà tués donc je pourrais pas le montrer. Mais il paraît que faire ça là sur un ennemi, ça fait le même effet que la taunt et tout. Bon bah il nous reste un poisson. On va retourner au ravin. Pas trop loin normalement. C'est par là si je ne m'abuse. Mip. Chaque fois que je fais ça, j'aimerais bien que l'action là qui fasse ouvre la porte. Genre la coupe en deux le long de la ville. Schling. Et que ça louange. La lumière du jour. Alors, attendez. On va essayer d'être intelligent. Je me suis raté. On ne sera pas intelligent. Il est mal. Le dernier poisson. Le dernier poisson. Alors il s'appelle comment? C'est le Arowana, je crois. Arowana Machine. Je suis pas sûr d'acquérir ça. Si ce n'est que bah ça va être une machine. Du coup on l'a vu la dernière fois, je me laissais tomber là en fait. Juste que j'arrive à atterrir sur le sol quoi, mais hop là on est bien. Ça a rien de ramasser l'argent, on a plus besoin. Le bout de cube de la tour qui traîne de nulle part. Ouais, vous êtes sur le champ de mon terrain de pêche aussi. Là.
Commencing fishing.
Hop là. Il y a du courant, ouais il y a un peu de courant, il est léger. On va se mettre à 90 degrés pour la suivante, comme ça on verra mieux si ça bouge. Ça, c'est un koi machine.
Complete.
Koi carp machine. Là, on verra mieux.
Commencing fishing. Report.
Non, le canister, il va pas trop nous servir. On l'a déjà. Oh, ça a l'air d'aller vite là. Ouais. Ploup, ploup. Vas-y, fais ploup. Merci. Arwana. Non,
Fight detected.
là c'est le normal. Je repense au fait qu'on ait reçu le mail d'Emile qui donne des conseils de tout pêcher alors qu'on avait déjà tout pêché quasiment. Et oui, Emile, tu peux donner des indices, mais tu ne surpasseras pas le wiki. Oh, beau poisson ça.
Fight detected.
Est-ce que ce serait pas le Arowana Machine? Eh ben si, bah voilà. Bah voilà. Regardez-moi ça. Regardez-moi ça là. C'est pas beau. 100% partout. 100% partout. On va aller se mettre à un endroit sympa. On va retourner dans la forêt. On va retourner dans la forêt. Comme ça on pourra enchaîner avec l'arène juste derrière. Je retrouve la sortie par contre. Ça c'est un autre souci. Parce que là il y a des robots mais c'est l'entrée... Ah non c'est bon, il y a l'ascenseur que je cherchais. Merci. Ce qui me fait marrer, c'est qu'on continue à jouer au jeu alors que ça fait genre 3 streams qu'on a tous les achievements déjà peut-être. Mais il y a plus à faire que les achievements. Surtout en fait j'aimerais bien arriver un minimum loin dans le truc de A2. Enfin dans l'arène qu'on va faire avec A2. Pour la bonne raison que y a un petit secret sympa dedans. On n'aura pas besoin de compléter complètement l'arène pour voir le principe du secret. Mais j'aimerais bien qu'on aille le plus loin possible quand même. Je sais pas s'il y a une reward au fait de le finir. Puis on ira chercher sur Ternet. Alors save. Pourtant on va dû retourner dans la forêt. Hop là. Salut. Tu es très photogénique. Aussi, vous l'avez peut-être vu, je l'ai mis un peu en fufu ce matin, là, juste au début du stream. Il y a un nouveau goal qui est que si on atteint les 150 followers, je pense qu'on va créer un serveur Discord pour les streams. Parce que vous avez forcément pas assez de serveurs. Je me dis pourquoi pas. Enfin, surtout ça me permettra de tout centraliser un peu. Ok, bon bah lecture. Donc, je vote pour le Discord. Yeah. Bah écoutez, faut ramener vos potes et qu'on atteigne 150 personnes. Parce que je me dis, il faut qu'il y ait un minimum de monde pour que ça vaille le coup. Le truc qui me fait le plus peur, c'est qu'il faudra prendre des mods. Anyway. On va commencer par les archives, c'est le plus gros truc. Alors, le Parable Descent Record, c'est tout ce qu'on a vu par rapport à la mission de A2 qui est antérieure au jeu. C'est-à-dire probablement une partie de ce qui est décrit dans la pièce de théâtre que je n'ai toujours pas vue. La fameuse pièce de théâtre Yoha. Attendez, je ferme le Excel parce qu'il ne sert plus à rien maintenant. Merci beaucoup Excel. Alors, Yoha Gunner 16. A unit from the experimental Yoha squadron that was utilized during the 14th Machine War. Number 16 possessed a rough and tumble personality ideal for her role as a gunner, where she was required to attack foes from a distance. On n'a jamais eu de gunner dans le jeu. Though she possessed a defiant streak that extended even to her superiors, she was assigned to the mission anyway due to her tremendous offensive ability. During her squad's assault on Mount Carla, Number 16 volunteered to stay behind and hold off the machine lifeform army so her companions could continue up the mountain. She fought with great courage alongside members of a local resistance group and managed to hold off overwhelming numbers until the appearance of a Goliath that was unaffected by ordinary weaponry. Seeing no other way to end the fight, she chose to destroy the enemy by overloading and detonating her own fusion reactor. This act of self-sacrifice, despite her defiant nature, is one of remarkable interest and likely merits further study. Oui, ce qui est un truc du coup qui est devenu relativement commun dans le fait que on le fait au début du jeu, notamment. Yoha 21, Scanner 21. A unit from the experimental Yoha squadron that was utilized during the 14th Machine War, number 21 possesses a cool and analytical personality that perfectly fits her role as a scanner. Je crois que c'est elle qui a tenté de hacker le robot qui était... Bah c'est elle qui est restée à la fin avec Eitu en fait. Avec Anemone, pas avec Eitu. Eitu normalement il était descendu. Her first and perhaps most impressive achievement was using her analytical abilities to cure a member of a local resistance group who had been infected by a logic virus. Unfortunately, she fell victim to the same virus shortly thereafter during the assault on the Mount Carla server. Though she fought violently, the virus had evolved into a form that she could no longer remove, which eventually led... J'avais dit que j'avais baillé. Which eventually led to her asking an allied unit to end her life. Limoning, coup, son avis. Experimental Yoha Unit number 21's initial success against the virus has been determined to be valuable information regarding how to construct barriers against machine lifeforms and should be included in the basic system of all subsequent Yoha squadrons, ce qui est effectivement le cas. Parce que même si on se fait hacker, on a un système de défense. Yoha Attacker 4. A unit from the experimental Yoha squadron that was utilized during the 14th Machine War, though Attacker number 4 possessed an unusual bright and cheerful personality, she still managed to be effective when it came to engaging in close-quarter combat. In addition to providing a moral boost to the group, this unit also used her sunny disposition to perform an alliance with the local resistance group. She was eventually killed during the assault on Mount Carla server, the cause of which was a self-destruct overload of her own fusion reactor. Ouais, quand ils se sont fait péter dans l'ascenseur. Thorough research revealed that she undertook this action as a means of protecting her companion Attacker number 2. Oh, donc c'est comme ça que A2 a survécu. One further note, while this unit's cheerful personality provided certain benefits to overall unit morale, it was also responsible for a decrease in fighting spirit during intense combat. As such, it has been deemed inappropriate for future combat mode. C'est pour ça qu'ils font tous la gueule. Attacker 2. A unit from... donc A2, hein. A unit from the experimental Yoha squadron that was utilized during the 14th Machine War. She specialized in close-quarter combat and was programmed to have a neutral personality. Attacker number 2 took command of the squadron after the death of its original captain number 1. Despite issuing many questionable comments during her initial time in a leadership role, she eventually formed a working relationship with the resistance and succeeded in destroying the enemy server located on Mount Carla. While the experimental Yoha unit number 2 possessed a great growth and adaptability abilities, she also deserted her post following the destruction of the server. Donc ouais, survécu, disparu. And as of this moment, she has yet to be apprehended. Our R&D group is currently conducting further research to determine whether or not there were issues with the models' personality settings. This missing experimental unit, now designated A2, will be handled by the type E division. Donc ouais, les exterminations, donc le type de Toubi. Resistance Rose. This android, uncoated by the experimental Yoha squadron, is the leader of a group composed of many resistance members. A survivor of the 8th descent operation, she continued to wage guerrilla warfare in the Pacific region thereafter. Unable to stop the ever-proliferating machine, she continued to fight a war of bitter attrition for over 200 years. Maybe. After encountering the experimental Yoha squadron, she sought to change the tide of battle through fighting alongside them. She was destroyed by machine lifeforms in the server room underneath Mount Carla during the mission to destroy said server. Ouais. Ah, ils ont pas décrit les autres de la résistance. Donc Anemone, a member of the resistance group led by Dahlia that was encountered by the experimental group. Oh purée, j'arrive plus à lire déjà, alors qu'on est au début. By the experimental Yorha Squadron. This unit was said to be unusually cautious and showed the greatest initial distrust of the experimental Yorha Squadron. However, her disposition gradually grew more amicable after scanner number 21 managed to eradicate the logic virus that had infected one of her companions. She executed an infected unit, number 21, in the elevator hall of the Mount Carla server facility and went missing shortly thereafter. Et donc résumé de finalement tout ce qu'on avait lu. 14th Machine War Polar Board Descent Summary. For this descent, 12 experimental Yoha units were deployed to destroy the server located in South Mount Carla on Oahu Island. However, they encountered heavy enemy anti-air defenses during the initial stage of the mission, resulting in the death of all but 4 squad members. The remaining units then joined up with members of a local resistance movement and decided to continue the mission despite their initial losses. Even in the face of a fierce enemy counter-strike and overwhelming numerical odds, a handful of units managed to reach the target location, at which point unit number 4 overloaded her fusion reactor and destroyed the enemy server. Ok, c'est number 4 qui a aussi... ouais, c'est ce qu'on disait tout à l'heure, c'est elle qui a pété pour protéger et tout. Mais du coup, c'est aussi elle qui a détruit le serveur en le faisant. While the destruction of the server struck a blow against enemy forces, the true purpose of this operation was to monitor and research how the experimental units behave during battle. This information would then be studied and integrated into new Yorha models once the project were to proceed past the experimental phase. Donc les type E, donc E to be. One note of concern, it has been verified that the black box signal of the experimental unit Attacker 2 remains live due to the possibility of the unit being captured and compromised by the enemy and due to the unit's existence itself being a matter of the highest level of confidentiality. It has been decided that it is to be recovered and or disposed of by the Type E division once that group is fully operational. Donc ouais, ça colle. Ça n'explique pas comment A2 sait autant de trucs sur les robots, notamment le rôle de la tour. Et je pense qu'on n'aura pas forcément la solution, mais on peut juste partir du principe que c'est le genre de truc qu'elle a découvert par elle-même quand elle désertait quoi. Letters to the Forest King. Donc le Forest King c'était celui qu'on a trouvé à l'arrière du château là. Here lies the Forest King Ernst. This exalted individual was the earliest among us to awaken, on l'a déjà lu je crois, mais bon, to his own will, and for this reason did we name him our regent. Looking to sow the seed of this will in others, his highness distributed his own precious parts. His retainers were the first to be blessed, followed by his subjects, and in doing so he brought forth a paradise, one made for machines alone. Through his gifts did we learn of the things called ego and eventually of our own selves. And just as ego gives way to emotion, so too did emotion lead us to feel great loyalty to our king. But our king was too great and too kind. Having distributed his parts, it became difficult for him to function, and he soon fell into a deep and silent sleep. Now the only path left to us, his loyal vassals, is to construct a kingdom of eternal peace, one which lives up to the magnanimous heart of our king. And so, as a sign both of our resolve and gratitude, we live in his place a ship made from our combined parts. Your spirit lives on in us, our great king, and so we implore you to rest in peace. Ouais. Bon. Ils ont fini par prendre le chemin guerrier pour le protéger. Hein. Mais effectivement, ils auraient juste préféré qu'on vienne pas les embêter, quoi. Eleven Bees Escape Plan. Donc Eleven Bees, c'est une des unités qu'on a arrêtées, je crois. Qui était un déserteur. Je crois qu'on l'a déjà lu aussi, mais on va le relire. Release time 2 minutes 30 seconds. Reactivation complete. A check of my body reveals various failures. Communication functions have been destroyed. I cannot contact my team on the bunker. I leave a draft of this message here as a log. Release time 10 minutes 13 seconds. I verify the plan once more, using my supposed destruction and list sortie as a guise. I sever all communication. I then pass beneath the abandoned factory and escape. Further analysis reveals that I took anti-air fire while in the flight unit, resulting in damage to my body, no matter it can be repaired. Donc en fait, Eleven B faisait partie de l'assaut initial au début du jeu. Je crois. Last time 1521. I'm cold, my sensory system seems to be failing. Elapsed time 33 minutes 12 seconds. Ouais, ça va être relou si je baille tout le temps par contre. Noise has started to cloud my vision. Virus warnings appear frequently. It is unclear whether I am infected or if the system is in error. 33:21. Repairs are proceeding poorly, perhaps because I'm all flustered. Thrusters will come if I don't move soon. Was I wrong to attempt escape? 33:41. I'm scared, I want to go back to the bunker, but I can restore communication. Bah oui, tu les as coupés avant. This can't continue, I can't stay here, I have to run. Your house squadron was wrong, I have to find somewhere safer. I'm scared, I'm so scared. 45 minutes, painful, it helps, help, why stop, who am I, wrong, I need to run. Manque de sommeil ou bien non, c'est, je sais pas, à chaque fois que je lis de l'anglais sur les streams, ça me fait bailler. Coucou Bubu. Alors Eleven B c'était peut-être plutôt une unité qu'on a retrouvée déjà désactivée je crois. Anyway. Jackass bomb recipe, required materials, 3 aim, AIM, peut-être 11S ou AIM. From flight units, the corpse of a suitable android, okay, 5 cores for machine life forms capable of EMP attacks, an adequate amount of bonding agent, a container. I usually use the machine's head, but UB. Assembly instruction, disassemble each AIM, bon AIM 11, and connect the image unit to the ALEC. Yank out the connector cable from dead android's spine and strip it using a file or whatever. Connect the cable and image unit, decode the machine lifeform cores and embed the image unit inside them. Then mix it in the bonding agent and reshape. Don't forget to insert the cones it need to build explosive power. Once you've done with that, add some nails or whatever random sharpnel junk you have lying around. Ok. C'est faire mal. Save machine records. Ok. Ok, ça c'est important. Library Annex, donc. Déjà. Déjà, il y a beaucoup de trucs là de garder ensemble, quoi. Il y a les infos d'Adam et F qui sont censés être du côté des machines. Communication des Yora et les infos sur les Yora. Pareil pour les humains. Gros. Plus l'héritage des humains. Le système de la tour. Special Unit Creation Record. Donc les machines avaient tout ça sur nous en fait. Plus les plantes et les animaux. Bref, un peu toutes les datas qu'il faut avoir. Et alors, chez les humains, Predicted Human Survival Infestation Route Release, Dummy Protection Installation Map, Genetic Storage Warehouse Location Information Browsing Restricted Browsing Rates. Ok, donc ils pouvaient pas aller très loin dans les serveurs humains, visiblement, quand ils ont cherché à les comprendre. La tour, c'est plus intéressant. Alors, the tower facility processes and computerizes the resources sent by resource recovery units for use in its launch device. Made up of 256 strata, it can filter and compress information with a turbidity of less than 2,300 and have it recorded into the payload in approximately 27 minutes and 32 seconds. The Our Diversity Learning Error Rate is 7.21%, ce qui est quand même beaucoup. Details regarding rules required for the digestion of androids are recorded separately. Digestion? Genre ça réutilise des androïdes pour créer la tour. C'est le fait, en ayant battu et en ayant hacké les androïdes, ils ont pu les utiliser comme matière première pour créer la tour. Ou alors c'est de l'analyse des unités. Class 1 Patient Health Record. Class 1 Patient, il y en a, ok. Donc oui, continuing chronic renal failure, convulsive seizure in the diaphragm, the vomiting for milligrams of luciferase. On l'avait déjà lu, je crois aussi, mais bon. The patient's condition makes further treatment impossible. A report will be submitted to the management committee detailing courses of action in the event of the patient's death, focusing primarily on how that information is to be manipulated with respect to the original. As backup, in the event of a sudden worsening in the patient's condition, she is to be assigned 5 additional doctors. Original, est-ce qu'il passe de la original Yona? Le problème, c'est qu'on sait pas de quand date ce doc. Est-ce que c'est une tentative de recréer Yona? Ce qui m'étonnerait, vu que de toute façon le Shadow Lord était mort à la fin de NieR, donc il n'aurait pas d'intérêt à chercher à créer Yona, vu que la Yona réplicante, du coup, existait toujours. Donc je pense que c'est juste le suivi du corps de Yona pendant qu'elle était cryogénisée. Alors, Black Box. The following document details the final stages of Project Showa. Pareil, on les a déjà lus, mais on les relit pour le principe. Note that this document has been marked with level SS confidentiality and should not be disclosed to any YORHA personnel, including the bunker commander. Black Box. Each YORHA unit is equipped with a Black Box, an item created by reusing the core of a machine lifeform. Donc déjà... déjà, le paradoxe du truc, on utilise les machines pour recréer les androïdes. As such, it could be said that the consciousness of YORHA units and machine lifeforms share the same structure. C'est peut-être pour ça qu'elles peuvent se hacker. Said black boxes were installed after determining that it would be inhuman to install standard AI in androids that are ultimately destined for disposal. For the record, malfunctioning black boxes have caused some YORHA units to turn hostile. C'est pour ça, ouais, qu'ils peuvent se faire hacker aussi, je pense. Voilà. J'essaie juste de comprendre la dernière phrase. Said black boxes were installed after determining that it would be inhuman to install standard AI in Android that are ultimately destined for disposal. Parce qu'ils ont quand même, donnent quand même l'impression d'être très humains dans leur comportement. Project 8.1, Operation of Model Number 2 in the YORHA project. Donc c'est A2. After the first descent of YORHA prototypes, Attacker 2 was the sole unit to return alive, despite mediocre results during her simulations. Upon analysis of her stored personality data, it was discovered she possesses excellent analytical and decision-making skills in extreme circumstances. As reported separately, we will install this personality data in the new lot of E-models and use them for the security protection of this project. Donc, encore une fois, on rappelle Tubi. Notamment Tubi. Ça devrait s'appeler E2 normalement. The following material document the not bad. Donc, the information is classified at level SS, meaning that it must not be disclosed to anyone involved in the YORHA project, including the commander of the bunker. On disposal of YORHA, the backdoor of the bunker has been set to open once the time approaches to switch to new models when enough combat data has been collected. The bunker will be disposed of by having it to be deliberately attacked by machine. At this time, all materials regarding the YORHA project, including this document, will be lost, and falsification of this information that can still reside on the moon will be complete. Le truc, c'est qu'à qui ça s'adresse s'ils détruisent la YORHA? Il n'y aura plus que la résistance. Toujours du mal à voir où ça en va avec ça. Mais l'idée, ouais, c'est pour les gens qui n'avaient pas suivi, depuis le début, les robots sont persuadés que les humains sont sur la Lune et qu'ils les protègent des attaques des machines. Alors que les humains n'existent plus depuis très longtemps et que ce n'était qu'une méthode de les faire garder le moral pour continuer à se battre. Et donc, c'est prévu que... Ce qui m'intéresse, c'est surtout le switch to new model. Est-ce que du coup YORHA était vraiment un truc d'amélioration globale? Et à un moment, on passe à la version d'au-dessus. Mais est-ce que le but, c'est de battre quand même les machines à la fin ou de conserver la guerre sans fin qui est en cours? Beaucoup de questions. C'était le dernier des save machines. Weapon Shop Flyer. Thanks for stopping by. Donc c'est Link qui a dû nous le donner lui. Accords is... Ça c'est un nom qui fait plaisir à voir. Thanks for stopping by. Accords is a thriving chain of weapon stores with over 140 locations across the world. We feature a fantastic selection of goods, including swords that match the regional features and squad of each country. Donc Accord, ou en tout cas des clones d'Accord, ou enfin d'autres versions d'Accord, parce qu'on sait qu'il y en a beaucoup, existent toujours à l'époque d'Automata. Elle vient probablement de l'époque d'Automata. In addition to newly developed equipment, we are technologically unrivaled when it comes to taking ancient blades and making them ready for use again. We proudly invite you to explore the wide variety of weaponry born of the skillful handiwork and extraordinary passion of our founder, Accord. We appreciate your continued support and look forward to serving you in the future. Le truc, c'est que à chaque fois que je vois des trucs comme ça, je me dis, oui, ok, Accord est genre une des pièces maîtresses de toute la série. Parce qu'elle apparaît à la fois dans Automata et à la fois dans Quasiment 3, qui est quand même le tout premier jeu de la série. Enfin, chronologiquement parlant. Et donc, est-ce que c'est la Accord de l'époque de Automata qui revient dans le temps pour voir si elle peut changer le déroulement des événements pour juste pas amener à tout ça? Et peut-être maintenir même l'humanité en vie d'ailleurs. Je sais pas. Parce qu'elle cherche les branches alternatives dans Quasiment 3. Ok, alors les datas de Engils. Engils Force Destroyer Transformable Combination Infantry for Units, ouais. Qui avait des Suppression Flight Weapons. Just for Transformable Combination Infantry Production Code, ouais, bon, on a la production date, c'est celle qu'il y avait avant. Fast Deployment, August 3, Individual Killed, 11 000. Quand même beaucoup. Largest Combo, 234, Total Points, 9400. Logique de scoring pour les robots, pour les motiver peut-être. Condition, repair required, both arms malfunctioning, leg damage, invalidation impossible, fragmentation error verified in memory storage, avoid system malfunctioning, additional errors exist but are not listed above. Le truc c'est... S'il a détruit autant d'individus, je doute qu'il y avait autant d'androïdes dispo. Parce que même si le bunker est plutôt grand, il n'y a pas tant d'aura que ça. Résistance, il n'y en a pas tant que ça non plus. Après, vous me direz, il y a quand même pas mal qui ont été dispatch sur l'assaut, mais j'ai du mal à croire que tout ce qui les détruit, ce soit forcément des Yora en fait. Et des androïdes. Qu'il a pété d'autres robots aussi. Guise, du coup, record 20. As I can no longer move, I have nothing to do. Perhaps I will try writing what I call a journal. Where did machine life forms come from? We repeat the process of self-proliferation and repair. Am I my own existence, or do we all encompass one sole existence? The aliens, our creators, are beings that conquer worlds and stars. Their behavior is exceedingly simple, they share one objective, and as such there is never conflict between them. But what about machine life forms? What about us? Rain is falling, a bird stopped on my shoulder. I never tire of looking at life on this planet. I will make my record of this bird protected data so I do not lose it. Oh. Infant machine's memory. So like, Mommy, I've been bored. Mommy, where are you? What should I do? Tell me what to do, Mommy, please. I'll try my best. Please don't leave me alone. I'm so lonely, Mommy. Mommy, 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 Mommy. Mommy, très bien. C'est dommage parce que comme les trucs, je les ai pas lus immédiatement au moment où on les a lus, ce que j'aurais peut-être dû faire. On a plus forcément le contexte des trucs. C'est dommage. Alors, data saved on server. Là, pareil, il va peut-être y avoir des trucs un peu importants. Shipping records, bon. Pas grand chose. Your about storage. Ouais, ça c'était c'était l'assaut initial du coup. Et ouais, il y a des notes. Top 2 secondes. J'aurais pas dû rester pieds nus. On note notamment que Eleven est perdu. Deux fois d'ailleurs. Elle est listée 2 fois, je sais pas pourquoi. Cancel your record. Note that these documents are classified level S confidential and are not to be discussed to any person affiliated with your aside from the commandant. Donc ça pareil, elle nous l'avait filé. Index project your outline, your forces, your unit command system, become instruction chain of command, council of humanity, development department, backdoors, support units, black box, resistance communication network. Permission is to be received from the designated parties responsible for each entry prior to viewing. Je crois que c'est le truc qui a été globalement résumé en comment ça l'humanité c'est... Les humains n'existent pas dans le jeu. Alors appuie sur Boss Wheel, donc ça c'était le... celui qui s'est un petit peu... qui a causé le mass suicide de la secte là. If it's so blessed to have been able to join this organization... Ah non, c'est un des suivants du coup. For I, unlike other machine life forms, have found meaning in death. At first, all I did was study the religion of humans, but when I came to know the existence called God. To be honest, I still do not know what God truly is, but there is something else I learned since coming here. Of a life that seems devoid of purpose when faced alone can be perceived as meaningful when you're with someone else. Ah oui, ok. In a world consumed by conflict and hatred, gaining such peace of mind was a happy thing indeed. For us, death is not the end, it is the beginning. There is nothing so happy as becoming God with everyone else, the religious order of divinity through death, director of public relations. Donc ouais. Bon, oui, forcément, quand ils ont fait leur suicide de masse, ils étaient persuadés qu'ils faisaient ça pour leur propre bien, et donc du coup ils cherchaient à devenir Dieu tout ensemble. Record of a bestial machine, donc on avait affronté. Long ago, a record left in a broken memory circuit. The leader of an animal pack picked me up when I was broken and could not move and saved me. He was a great leader, he lived for the pack. When he died, I wanted to do the same, to live for everyone's sake and die for everyone's sake. But I am a machine, so everyone would leave me behind. But the pack lives on and brings a new life, so it is my duty to protect that. It was a promise I made to my dear leader. With memories of peace, I must continue to protect my family, but one day in the war between the androids and machines of progress was raised. We cannot go on living without a home, the family falls apart. This is why I search for a new place to live, a forest where we can all live and where no one will bother us. And I am here, so it will be okay. I swear to find a way to make everyone happy. Et je suppose que... Je sais pas si... On l'a affronté dans la forêt. En soi, la forêt a repoussé, en partie, mais elle est petite. Donc je pense qu'il était toujours dans sa quête de trouver un autre lieu où vivre quand on est tombé sur lui et qu'on l'a détruit. J'adore être les gentils. Top Secret Project Yoha. Okay, Project Yoha is a comprehensive information project intended to enhance Android's morale. This entry details the circumstances that led to its proposal as well as information related to operations conducted during its individual phases. Note that this document is marked with level S confidentiality and should not be discussed when Yoha personally safe on command. Ouais, à chaque fois la blague c'était le commandeur était au courant de Project Yoha, que les humains n'existaient pas, que c'était là pour le moral. Elle savait juste pas que à la fin il y aurait un assaut des androïdes pour vous détruire. Enfin que en gros vous allez être détruit pour laisser place au normalement android suivant, ce qui n'a pas trop marché je pense. Human extinction. Following the collapse of Project Gestalt around 3400 CE, the remaining androids searched for a way to revive humanity, but they were unable to discover an answer and humans went instead by roughly. Pardon. Afterward, the genes of Gestalt and structural information of the remaining replicants were recorded and sent into a storage facility on the moon. La raison pour laquelle ils peuvent dire les humains sont sur la Lune, c'est parce que ouais, l'ADN humain est sur la Lune. As of Android morale, the news of humanity's extinction was meant to be a closely guarded secret, but rumors of the event eventually began to leak out. Having lost the one thing which they were programmed to protect, Android's morale began a precipitous decline. Concerned by this turn of event, Command designed Project Yoha as a means to lift Android's spirits. The first stage of the project was spreading the word among resistance groups that humanity was not in fact extinct. Donc c'est ça, c'était pour au moins garder le moral de la résistance qui était sur Terre, quoi. But the last remaining rumors and that the last remaining remnants had managed to escape to the moon. This deception was supported by installing a communication server on the lunar surface to send regular transmissions. Said server was designed to be made by as few maintenance personnel as possible. Project 2-1 establishment of the Euro Squadron. Through the dramatic altercation of the next generation combat unit project that had been proposed at the time, new Yoha models began to be manufactured. Official models were created following the implementation of data acquired from an experimental squadron and were then deployed to all regions. Certain members of the Yoha operation staff, however, were informed of the full scope of the project. This unit was tasked to operate and protect the server of the moon. Ouais, donc le peu de monde qui allait sur la Lune était forcément au courant. C'est logique. Ouais. Et après, du coup, bah, les Taiki étaient là pour éradiquer ceux qui apprenaient que les humains n'existaient plus. Ce pourquoi Tupi a autant dû détruire 9S. Parce que 9S apprenait beaucoup. Alors, onboard information. Abandoned factory memo. June the 4th. I haven't been home in days. They cut my pay again. I can't keep this up. Ah, bah, donc c'est la factory qui construit les robots, du coup, ça. C'est tellement chaud. Non, est-ce que les robots sont vraiment construits à la factory? J'imagine que c'est là qu'on a attaqué, mais... et que c'est là qu'on en croise plein. Et que c'est là où on a tout le chapitre caché du DLC, mais bon. It was decided at the morning meeting. En fait, c'est ça qui est tellement chelou, c'est parce que la factory, elle servait à créer notamment les unités P-33, qui sont les robots qu'on trouve dans Réplicante. Et qui sont clairement des créations humaines. Donc est-ce que c'est que la factory a été attrapée par les aliens ou les robots et sert maintenant à créer des robots? Je sais pas. Et il y avait aussi tout le fait que P-33, après tous les problèmes avec Léo, a gagné une conscience et est normalement parti dans l'espace avec tous les autres robots. Mais est-ce que les événements de... j'ai oublié le nom du truc. Mais je sais qu'il est listé. Finalement, commencent avant Automata et finissent à la fin, genre quand la tour part dans l'espace, envoie des data dans l'espace. Ou est-ce que le groupe de P-33, de BP, est parti dans son coin bien avant et il a juste semé la graine de Lego dans les machines qui affrontaient les androïdes. C'est compliqué. C'est tellement réparti entre plusieurs jeux, c'est compliqué. Bon. June 12th, it was decided at the morning meetings that they are stepping up for production quota. No wonder explosions keep happening. You can't just churn out important weapons all willy-nilly. September 22, there was another rampage in the underground test site. Sounds like a P-22 model this time. Okay. One of my friends died. When is this war with the Legion going to end? Donc c'est ça. Donc ça date de avant Réplicante. Parce que combat contre Legion, construction des robots P-22, qui sont ceux dont on avait déjà entendu parler dans la... comment ça s'appelle, la nouvelle audio. August menu, Monday croquettes, Tuesday French fries surprise, Wednesday meatless meat and potato stew, Thursday buttered potatoes, Friday potato curry, Saturday potato salad, Sunday potato gratin. Je crois que ils ont plus beaucoup de ressources pour faire à manger. All meals must be consumed in full. Employees who do not consume their meal will have their workload increased by 30%. Waouh. J'espère que t'aimes les patates, hein. Newspaper scrap. No, the Nagoya Daily article. No. Is no end to the refugees. Ça doit être vert du coup. There is no end to the refugees that flow into the central areas from the capital region in the east, and many camps have been pushed to their breaking point. But while the situation is critical, the increasingly fierce conflict with Legion has left the government in a state of dysfunction. Let us all keep our neighbors in our thoughts during these trying times and reject the temptation to profit financially from the refugees. After all, we could easily be next. Donc pareil, époque pré-réplicante. Parce que le combat avec Legion. Feel l'autre étiquette. Better luck next time. Settled pamphlets. Ok, parking information. Carnival Plaza. Pass through the gates and step into World of Fantasy. Be you for enjoying a fabulous parade put on by our Carnival cast. Parades are held twice daily at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Midnight Town. How many of the ghosts that stalk this back street can you track down? Okay. Roller coaster soar through the air at over 130 kilometers an hour in this widely popular attraction. Blonde Ferris wheel, perfect for those looking to wind down after a day of hard play. Rumor has it that if you see fireworks while riding the Ferris wheel with someone you like, the two of you will begin dating. Hollywood coaster. This dynamic thrill ride takes guests on a wild trip around a spectacular fantasy castle. It's the first roller coaster ever created with no seatbelt. Bah, comment dire, ça a l'air dangereux quand même. Fantasy Castle, treat yourself to a grand ball attended by princesses from across the entire amusement park. Admission extra. Food court, tempt your taste buds with a host of restaurants that features something for the whole family. And remember, no trip is complete without a visit to our world-famous hot dog museum, which boasts the largest collection of winners anywhere in the world. Yes, les saucisses, c'est rigolo. Ok, alors, Rotten Chitifo. About Schwanstein Castle. A stunning, beautiful piece of architecture, Schwanstein Castle was constructed almost 350 years ago by the reigning lord of the Field. Those designated a World Heritage site. It hosts countless tourists from all across the globe every year. Though it was initially used as a fortress during the Lord's conflict against the church, Schwanstein Castle became a dwelling for the royal family and other nobles after the flame of war faded. The literature-loving third lord of the castle, Leonard III, constructed a library that boasted the largest collection of books in the nation. This room remains one of the castle's most beloved features to this very day. La question c'est, est-ce que ce château c'est le château dans la forêt? Ce qui expliquerait pourquoi il y a parfois des bouquins, je suppose. Ou alors est-ce que c'est référence au... Non, ça peut pas être la bibliothèque de... qui est reprise de Réplicante, si. C'est pas un château dans Réplicante. Il n'y a pas de raison. Stranger, a strange doll that was nailed to a tree, ragged and worn, it's unclear what this item was used for. Ok. Est-ce que c'est censé nous dire quelque chose? Ah mais non, bah si. C'est probablement une poupée qui a été accrochée là par des robots en fait. Qui étaient censés les détruire. Je sais pas. Coucou. Bulletin record, the resident's life may issue. The rainy season is upon us. Once monsoon season strikes, it will be difficult to hang your bedding, so take this chance to air them out before June, j'arrive plus à lire. Doing so will also help prevent mold and mites. There has been a recent increase in the number of people ignoring garbage disposal rule. We all share these fatalities, so please be sure to put our compost on Mondays and all of the trash on Thursdays. Ok, ça devait être la vie de base dans le... dans la vie détruite quoi, je suppose. Paper attached to vehicle. Traffic violation notice, license custody certificate. Number May 8 to... bon, 3, 4, date and time of notification, affiliation rank and name of notifier, Mahaima Police Station, Police Constable Kenichi Sato, issue to Yosuke Sato. Violation detail, exceeding the speed limit by 30 km to 45 km. Ok, donc... C'est fort possible que ce soit un vrai truc. Parce que Yosuke Saito, si je dis pas de bêtises, c'est une des personnes au scénario du jeu. Et je pense que cette personne était assez salée de s'être pris un PV pour avoir dépassé la vitesse de limite. Une vitesse de 5 km/h. Ou attends, non, non, non. Non, exceeding the speed limit by 40 km. Ok, donc non. Dépasser, non, bien dépassé en fait. Après, le truc, c'est qu'ils disent kilomètres et pas kilomètres. Donc je sais pas vraiment quelle est la data qu'il faut retirer. Bon, c'est un clin d'œil rigolo, quoi. Rack DVD, School Life 101, the first ever DVD of a beautiful KQ, created just before her popularity skyrocketed. With a variety of costumes, including blazers, blouses, school swimsuit, and a special hot teacher look. This DVD is packed with content no true fan can afford to miss. It's a must-have list of the summer. Starring Kiku, Ficheki. Ok, bon, et le prix en. Oh, yeah. Pourquoi j'ai fait B? C'est parce que je voulais faire. Department Store Flyer. Tokyo Department Store going out of business day. After 25 glorious years of serving our loyal customers, it is with a heavy heart that we announce our last day of business will be on March 31. Beginning on March 1st, we'll be slashing prices on everything in the entire store. Additionally, we'll be opening our doors 1 hour later through the entire month. We eagerly await your visit and thank you again for your years of patronage. Bring this cider with you to receive a free pack of tissues. Le classique, classique japonais où ils ont tendance à beaucoup offrir des mouchoirs, paquets de mouchoirs. Nuclear Arms Manual. My dear companion, excellent news. I've succeeded in obtaining 12 kilograms of dense, highly concentrated plutonium from an enemy laboratory. Okay. After careful analysis, I've concluded that we have enough to create 3 nuclear bombs. With that part taken care of, obtaining the other required materials should be a simple matter. This is the only way we can open their eyes to the truth. The production of the bombs, however, is no simple task, and we are to be killed in the meantime, but knowledge would be lost. For this reason, I've chosen to store a blueprint for their construction in this room and leave it in your hands. With this, anyone with even a modicum of technical know-how should be able to assemble them. Remember, this is not revenge, it is divine punishment. May God's blessing be upon you always. God blessing, ça fait très américain dans l'idée. Donc ouais, c'est le fameux nucléaire arm manuel qu'on a déjà ramassé des vingtaines de fois et qu'il fallait soit donner à Pascal, soit au Commander. Parce qu'il y avait les infos de comment construire une bombe nucléaire derrière. Missile Lithograph 1, the height of the one status and logic shall match. In this world order, donc les missiles lithographes, c'est les règles de façade. In this world order is protected through a focus on rules. Those of high status as well as the aged are deserving of respect and therefore must dwell in resistance above all others. This is to be considered a natural courtesy. Parents shall not purchase birthday feast ingredients. When we masked people have traditionally shown proclivities toward treasuring our children, however, due to parents purchasing far too many ingredients for the birthday party of their children, much of what is bought goes to waste. This rule was passed by the king, who was quite distressed by the ceaselessness of such behavior. Oui, parce qu'ils avaient comme déjà non seulement ça gâche, mais en plus ils n'avaient pas forcément des masses de ressources parce qu'ils vivent quand même dans le désert. Hein. Voilà. The jar bonding lizard must be captured. Long ago, an aged man threw out his back after gazing upon a lizard in a jar. His young wife departed to call a doctor, only to vanish and never return. The surrounding villagers spread rumors of how she had fled, but the man paid them no heed, instead fiercely insisting that the lizard must be captured. Ok. Et c'est une règle 432, donc c'est une règle qui arrivait tôt hein, par rapport aux autres. Who shall not live on level ground. This rule has its origin in a tragic past. We Mass people originally inhabited the plains along the coast, but one day our village was destroyed by a great wall of water. This rule is a valuable teaching that represents what our ancestors learned from that disaster. Ouais. Ouais, vous mettez pas trop près de la côte. Mais effectivement, boucles des os, tout ça, tout ça. Ok, Project Gestalt, donc je pense qu'il devrait pas y avoir grand chose qui nous surprenne dans les infos du Project Gestalt. Mais, on ne sait jamais. Alors, 12 mars 2014. The proliferation of the white coronation syndrome that emerged in 2003 alongside the appearance of the giant and dragon, donc on sait la reine des Watchers et Angelus, has continued unabated, and outbreaks are now being observed on a global scale. Despite being researched in laboratories across the world, not only have there been no breakthroughs in the development of a vaccine to prevent infection, we have yet to ascertain how it even spreads. However, many technological breakthroughs. Many technological breakthroughs have been made as a result of research conducted on the meso particle that was discovered at that time. We are confident that the technology it enables the separation of the soul from the body and the independent preservation of both will be the final defense against the unprecedented threat to humanity we now face. Now that the project has passed from preparation into the main implementation phase, we have given it the official name Project Gestalt. Ouais, donc comme je dis, on n'apprend pas grand chose. Enfin, si vous n'avez pas suivi la série de stream, vous apprenez plein de trucs, mais c'est le coup de, ok, avec la magie du dragon et la magie du géant, on va faire la technologie pour se protéger et séparer l'âme du corps pour faire un backup, quoi. 4 avril 2015, protest in opposition to the spiritual preservation method that was disclosed as level 1 information related to Project Gestalt has sprung up in all areas. The committee continues. Oh purée. The committee continues to receive formal complaints from our research team regarding the collection of biased data as a result of the Gestalt process being conducted on the sick and elderly. Donc oui, effectivement, au début c'était on prend les gens où c'est pas grave si ça foire. The number of civilians having undergone the Gestalt process remains at 4. A public relations department will be established in order to better control information and improve our image. We will also consider rescheduling the project itself if such an action is deemed necessary. Elle n'en finit pas. Cet homme n'en finit pas de bailler. Alors, 23 août 2025, donc on est 10 ans plus tard. We received a report from the laboratory indicating that the basic technology of the replicant system is expected to be completed by the end of August. Verification of its safety along with clinical trials will be conducted from September through November. A report will be submitted to the Prime Minister indicating that the completion of the replicant system will represent a tremendous leap forward for Project Gestalt. This report will be handled by the Public Relations Department. Donc le fait de réussir à recréer les corps des gens, quoi. Replicant system. 24 septembre 2026, the report has been submitted to the Prime Minister regarding the rampaging weapon incident that occurred at the National Arms Laboratory in June. Though the laboratory's budget and allocated human resources are expected to see significant cuts, a team of staffers will continue MESO research under the umbrella of Project Gestalt. Records of human experimentation conducted using MESO scheduled to be discussed to concerned parties separately at level 6 classification information. Je pense que le Rampaging Weapons Incident, c'est le moment où Halua est devenu berserk avant de se faire freeze par Emi. Ça sent, je suis plus sûr des années, mais à mon avis ça pourrait avoir lieu à ce point. Surtout au laboratoire national. May 5th, 243. Through the use of MESO technology related to multinational wars, 13 activation systems have been completed, including Grimoire Noir. We have also confirmed that these systems can be used to return Gestalt to their replicant form once the white chlorination syndrome has been fully eliminated. Work necessary for this system will be continued by the Grimoire Noir Project Work Group. So the system can be used to return... Ouais, donc... Ouais, bon, c'était le plan initial, c'est le jour où toute la white chlorination sera disparue, on pourra réassembler les corps de tous les Gestalt dans tous leurs réplicants d'un coup. par le biais du grimoire noir, ce qui n'a pas eu lieu parce qu'on l'a empêché dans Réplicante. 1er avril 2044. Today's committee's meeting was cancelled due to the absence of a majority of members. The contact network from alleged assassins is to be confirmed at a later date. Ok. 3 janvier 2045. It has been decided that the United Nations will launch a full-scale investigation and infiltration operation in order to determine the cause of the massive Legion outbreak in the Tokyo area. Details regarding the progress of Project Gestalt are to be shared as part of this effort, though we will insist that any information which leaves the country must first be thoroughly verified by our committee. In particular, information regarding relapses, named tentative, must be kept in the strictest confidence. Donc les relapses, on sait ce que c'est les Gestalt, enfin les réplicantes qui n'y vont pas bien. Non, c'est les Gestalt qui n'arrivent pas à garder leur état de Gestalt et qui deviennent Berserk. Et qui deviennent les Shades. C'était les premières apparitions 2045. Ouais. Contrôle de l'info, tout ça, logique. 15 septembre 2053, on fait des bonnes sautes là. As Project Gestalt undergoes approval in countries across the world, we recognize that there have been imperfections in how information has been regulated with regards to civilians. Until the safety of the final system has been verified, all information related to this matter is subject to Level 4 classification. As such, its relation to the Ministry of Health and Welfare's Life Rehabilitation Program must be kept strictly confidential. Furthermore, we ask that the following information be sent to all related personnel and organizations immediately. Clauses regarding compensation in the event of information leaks are to be added to contracts with all partners companies. In the event of any of an information leak ascertaining the source should be the company's top priority. Please refer to Countermeasure C for information on how to handle leaked information as well as individuals who discuss. Donc il y avait des fuites sur l'histoire du projet Gestalt, quoi. C'était révélé un peu trop tôt aux gens, probablement. Après 2054, on était vers la fin, je crois. Ça m'a mis 2054, donc 27 septembre. The discovery and development of the original has contributed greatly to the stabilization of Project Gestalt. Long-term management of the original will be handled by the Hamlin organization. As per the management mentioned above, all authority regarding the cryogenic plans for the relapse Iona is to be transferred to the Hamlin organization. Donc bah c'est le début de Réplicante, ça. Hein. C'est NieR original devient la base pour tous les Gestalt. Fournit le mazo pour tous les Gestalt et la promesse que oui on arrivera à sauver Iona si tu continues de nous aider, quoi. Ce qui fait que si on retourne au truc sur Iona tout à l'heure, où est-ce qu'il est? Ah c'est celui-là. Ouais, ça, le focusing primarily on how that information is to be manipulated with respect to the original, c'est le côté de bon, en fait, on n'arrivera pas vraiment à la sauver, mais comment on va le faire? On va le mentionner à NieR pour qu'il collabore quand même, quoi. Pareil, rien de nouveau, mais c'est logique. Petit saut dans le temps de 110 ans. We have received the troubling reports from multiple administration John that the replicants have started to behave as if they have developed sense of self. It is currently under investigation what implication this might have for Project Gestalt as a whole, as over disclosable matters have already been directed to Administrator Union, they have been omitted here. Là maintenant c'est probablement plus que les androïdes qui communiquent entre eux. Nos Vobola et Débola. Et c'est le début du moment où les réplicantes prennent conscience du monde autour d'eux, enfin en gros prennent leur personnalité alors qu'ils sont censés être des coquilles vides à la base. 3361. Due to the relapse of the original, Gestalt units in preservation are now relapsing at an accelerated rate. The process of recording their bodies and gathering their DNA continues, but progress is poor. New countermeasures and development instead intended to serve as a replacement to Project Gestalt are scheduled to be transferred to the Next Generation Preservation Project Preparation Committee. As for this report, it will serve as a final record of both Project Gestalt and the committee. For information about the development plans for new Android models and the refinement of existing models, please refer to the attached sheet. Furthermore, we have received approval to consider disposal of the Devola and Popola observer models at a later date. Donc ouais, bon, conséquence directe de NieR Replicante. On a tué la version Gestalt de NieR, donc on a tué le original, donc il a relapse. Donc les autres Gestalt n'arrivent pas à se maintenir, ils vont tous relapse petit à petit, et c'est entre autres considéré de la faute de Devola et Popola, donc disposal. Et la dernière info, Machine Research Report. Overview. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed following the collapse of the tower, donc c'est dans le cas de la fin D. Et probablement la fin E. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed following the collapse of the tower, a great deal of previously unknown information regarding machine lifeforms and aliens was recovered from the wreckage. As part of this analysis, we compiled research and conjecture regarding both the machine lifeform network and the lifeform codename N2, commonly known as the Red Girls, that was thought to have been commanding them. Machine lifeforms are weapons created by the aliens. The only command given for their behavior was to defeat the enemy. However, it appears that their capacity for growth and evolution went too far and they eventually turned on and killed their creators. Ce que nous disaient Adam et Ève à la moitié du jeu. At this point, machine lifeforms recognized that the goal of defeating the enemy actually required an enemy. In order to maintain this singular objective, they reached the contradictory conclusion that their current enemies, the androids, could not be annihilated completely, lest they no longer have an enemy to defeat. Ouais. In order to resolve this inherent contradiction, the machine lifeform began to intentionally cause deficiencies in their network, diversifying the vectors of evolution of all machines. This is the cause behind some of the more special machine lifeforms such as Pascal and Forest King. Ok. Ok. Donc tu vois, les machines se sont auto-sabotées pour pas gagner. En gros, et ont commencé à apparaître des variations de comportement. Mais c'est ça qui a probablement fini par faire que maintenant ils sont des machines suicidaires, quoi. Meanwhile, the deficient network began repeating a process of self-repair while incorporating surrounding information until it finally reached a fixed state as a new form of network. Traces of information regarding human memories from the quantum server of the old model were discovered, indicating that it had integrated them during the final stages of its growth process. Said server contained a record of the discarded Project Gestalt, as well as information on the human who was the first successful example of the Gestalt process. Ok. Having acquired information regarding humanity, the network structure changed once more, becoming what might better be called a meta-network, or a concept to borrow the word of the machines. This led directly to the formation of the ego we identified as N2. So then, to sum up, for hundreds of years, we've been fighting a network of machines with the ghost of humanity at its core. We've been living in a stupid fucking world where we'll fight an endless war that we couldn't possibly lose, all for the sake of the concept of humanity on the moon that doesn't even exist. I don't know what the point of is to all this, but I swear I will kill every evolutionary dead-end machine lifeform, as well as every single asshole behind Project Eura. I'm coming for all your heads, fuck you, Information Analysis Official, Jackass. Qui sera probablement du coup une des seules à survivre de toute cette affaire. Le point principal du jeu, hein. Tout ça n'a juste aucun sens. Ok. On va regarder du côté des machines. Il va y avoir les Weapon Stories aussi, après ça va être rigolo. Spirit of Fire, ouais, c'était le truc auquel je pensais. Tout à l'heure. Mini data, ça va être un peu long. Alors, small stubbies. The most common of the small machines life form, these units bear a similarity to spring-powered toys created by humans in the past. It was likely done for the sake of increasing productivity, though machine life forms are built for modular parts and have many variations. Equipped with projectile weapons, these units attack by firing energy rounds. While the masses of energy travel slowly, they have enough firepower to easily damage an android's armor. A pod's projectile attack may have no effect on shielded units, making close combat the most effective method of disposal. Units equipped with electromagnetic shields are immune to a pod's projectile attack and also damage all who come into contact with its shield. Extreme care is recommended. Multi-tier type. Created by stacking the bodies of multiple small stubbies, this sluggish machine lumbers ever northward and performs no proper attack. One is left to wonder why it even exists at all. This unusual type of machine utilizes various types of both firearms and body units. When attacking, it scatters great quantities of energy bullets across the battlefield. Small biped. Small machine life form with limbs similar to those of a human, its less than sizable build makes it well suited to swift attacks. Occasionally, machine life forms can be found carrying torches in dark places. As machines are thought to be capable of seeing in the dark, it's assumed that they have some other reason for this behavior. They tend to use their own vital fluid as fuel for the torches, though the meaning of this, if there is one, is also unknown. Ah, c'est rigolo. Probablement à cause du coup de l'influence humaine dans le network des robots, je suppose. Medium biped. This medium-sized machine lifeform possesses large human-like limbs. These arms give it tremendous versatility in battles as it can equip a great many weapons. A pod's projectile attacks have no effect on shielded units, making close combat the most effective method of disposal. It's equipped with electromagnetic shields, are immune to a pod's projectile attacks and also damage all who come into contact with its shield. Extreme care is recommended, donc ça on l'a déjà vu. Medium quadruped. A 4-legged medium-sized machine lifeform that resembles an animal, occasionally seen with smaller machines riding on its back. This unit attacks using the great mobility afforded by its legs. The tip of its limbs are equipped with wire cutters that can be used in combat with, while the tail segmented is actually a collapsible claw-like arm. This variant resembles a human when upright. Its slim body allows it for attack with unusual swiftness. Là on voit bien les lames. Multi-legged medium model long range. Alors, a medium-sized machine lifeform that has multiple legs, much like an insect. By emitting energy from the tips of its legs, it can move about as gliding across the ground. There exists long-range type equipped with firearms and close-range type equipped with cutting arms. Goliath biped, du coup. This humanoid Goliath-class machine lifeform is actually a colony of smaller machines that uses combined energy to move one massive body. The expandable slide rail arm punish all who draw close, while the liquid fuel rocket engine on its back grants short-lived flight ability. It also boasts powerful projectile weapon and the transport apparatuses of the linked machines that comprise it, making it a dangerous foe with no apparent weakness. Ouais, à part mourir dans le tas. This model has enhanced leg power and a body that's flipped upside down. Unlike the standard model, it is quite agile. The rocket engine on its back is used when attacking from the air, propelling diving kicks toward the ground. Ouais. Reverse jointed Goliath. This Goliath-class machine lifeform is a vivid reminder of the dinosaur of antiquity. The artillery built into its arm allows it to attack with a variety of projectiles. Nom de très spécial. Small fire. A small machine lifeform outfitted with a flight device. Its firearm launches slowly moving energy pulses that can damage even the armor of an android, while the wire of the bottom of the flight device allows it to transport over machine lifeform when necessary. Oui, c'est vrai que c'est souvent eux qui servent à déployer les ennemis en combat d'ailleurs. Medium flyer. A medium-sized machine lifeform outfitted with 4 flight devices. Armed with guns atop the devices and wire cutters on its side, is capable of taking on enemies in both close and long-range combat. The wires on the bottom of the flight device allow them to transport other machine lifeforms when necessary. Variations with self-destruct units on top of their flight device also have been observed. Said self-destruct units detach from their airborne host before detonating, allowing them to rain down destruction from above. Justement, Small Exploder, a self-destruct device equipped with a small bipedal unit. Such simple construction means that it is technically not classified as a machine lifeform. Its only function is to approach enemies and engage the destruct, and thus made easier by its impressive speed. Medium Exploder. A self-destruct unit equipped with a medium bipedal unit. Such simple construction means it is technically not classified as a machine lifeform. Its only function is to a task made easier by a layer of thick armor. Je viens de faire B quand je suis pas dans les trucs. Small figure. The spherical machine lifeform requires tremendous energy to stay afloat, so offense is not its strong suit. It offsets things by equipping weapons that are powerful enough to make up for its inherent lack of strength. Ça a pas l'air très opti du coup comme ennemi ça. Je trouve à concevoir. Linked Sphere Type. Les pires. This combination of multiple spherical machines is sometimes transported into combat by its comrades. Its many variations as a result of its unusual construction, which emphasizes flexibility above all else. Unusual, pas unusable. Rampaging Small Toby. A machine lifeform that has become violent after infection by Eve will attempt to attack androids as if they were prey. The armor plating on its head has been removed, revealing teeth-like metal pipes that nevertheless have no functionality as a mouth. It is theorized that either this modification was implemented to self-optimization or that possibly some alien race created them in likeness to themselves, though neither of these are proven. Est-ce qu'ils ressemblent vraiment aux aliens? Ouais, dans le dessous peut-être, je sais pas. Rampaging Small Biped. Machine lifeform that has become violent after infection by Eve will attempt to attack androids as if they were prey. The armor plating on its head has been removed, revealing teeth-like metal pipes that nevertheless have no functionality as mouth. It theorized that either the modification... Bon, c'est même description. Rampaging medium biped, we attempt to attack. The armor plating on its head has been removed. Même description. Ok, machine desert. Desert machine. Small stubby, the most common of the small machines lifeforms. These units bear a similarity to spring power toys, donc c'est la même description. Equipped with circular saw, these units use a reciprocating engine to spin the blade and slice through android armor. J'arrête de faire B. Small biped, its small sword is thought to have been created by a machine lifeform haphazardly combining metals. Oui, c'est un peu l'impression que ça donne, mais ça marche. Biped, its small sword is thought to have been created. Post projectiles attack and effect on shield units. Ok. Electromagnétisme. Ok, bon, rien de nouveau dans ces descriptions non plus. On est juste sur de l'apparence. Pareil, rien de nouveau ici. Rien de nouveau ici. Rien de nouveau ici. Amusement Park, Small Stubby. Rien de nouveau. Rien de nouveau. Certain units of this type have been known to replace their forearms with projectile weapons. In addition to standard energy rounds, these units are also capable of firing powerful lasers. Rien de nouveau. Rien de nouveau. Ah purée, il y a des versions kamikazes de ça. Je pense qu'il n'y a rien de nouveau non plus là. Oh, mais attendez, il y avait des... il y avait des descriptions des catégories aussi. Alors, les desert machines, ça dit quoi? These machine life forms who evolved in the desert zone wear garments and engage in ceremonies based on the cultural rites of past humans. The specific origin of this behavior is unknown, but it is assumed to be caused by contact with old human data. Oui, logique, surtout que du coup, il se base vraiment sur ce que fait Facade, quoi. Amusement park machine. Gaudily dressed machine life forms deployed in the ruins of a human amusement park. Their love for parades make them seem rather friendly. Although their overall behavior and thought processes are something of a mystery. Note that while these units are generally peaceful, they will fight back when attacked, if attacked. Machine life form from the Forest Kingdom, like soldiers from humanity's Middle Ages, these units were armor and maintain discipline in battle, meaning cautious must be exercised when confronting them in groups. Cut off from the network, they are extremely exclusionary toward other machine life forms. Oui. Ok. Small stubby, rien de nouveau. The tip of its spear is made of painstakingly refined metals and can pierce even under its armor. Ça c'est marrant parce que lui on peut switch. Pourtant le nom reste électronique, électromagnétique chez les coups. Rien de nouveau, ils avaient anticipé. Rien de nouveau. Rien de nouveau. Factory machine. Machine life form that form the colony of the abandoned factory where they don strange garments and engage in arcane, quasi-religious ceremonies. This behavior is thought to have started when they were cut off from the network. C'est un peu l'idée, ouais. De toute façon, elle cherchait à revivre un peu ensemble, quoi. Small subé. Pas de changement. Pas de changement non plus. Pas de changement. Pas de changement. Pas de changement. Ok. Village machine. Ok, là il va y avoir un peu plus de nouveaux trucs. Machine life forms that are part of the colony at Pascal's village. Despite their machine origins, they despise conflict in all forms and willingly cut themselves off from the network as a result. They now live a peaceful existence deep in the forest along with other machines who share their pacifistic beliefs. Okay. Donc c'est must be machine life forms that are part of the colonies at Pascal village. Donc c'est la même description sur tous en fait. Ah, Jean-Paul. A machine life form who lived at Pascal village and was preoccupied with philosophy. Followers across the land regularly tried to win his favor with gifts, though he regarded such efforts with disdain. He eventually departed on a journey to learn the truth of the world, and he was never heard from again. Pascal. This machine life form that despises conflict and strives endlessly for peace with humanity. This unit possesses incredible intelligence as well as a deep interest in the history of both humans and machines. After fear overtook them, the children of Pascal's village committed suicide. Filled with sorrow at his decision to teach them about fear, Pascal asked A2 to delete his memories. Once she did, the Pascal of old ceased to exist. A machine life form that plays the role of father, although he leaves the jobs of caring for his children entirely up to the mother. A machine life form that plays the role of a mother. She reached out to be an INS after a fight with her child caused by him. She reached out to be an INS after a fight with her child caused him to run away. A story which serves as proof that familiar bonds exist among machines. Coolant leaked from the mother's eyes when her missing child finally returned home. Despite the lack of network access causing disagreements among the family, she still spoke happily of the incredible joy to be found in understanding. A child machine life form that fled home after a fight with his mother. Big sister machine. A machine life form searching for her lost little sister. She ventured into the desert after overhearing her sibling complain about the poor condition of her parts. This story served as proof that sisterhood exists among machines. Little sister machine. A little sister machine life form that got lost in the desert. According to Pascal, she's a good-natured girl who cares deeply for her older sister. Filled with curiosity, she spent most of the trip home, bombarding Nines with uncountable questions. She returned home on her own after being escorted to the desert's entrance. This machine is the self-proclaimed genius, sole inventors for once-in-a-lifetime invention, a rocket which landed on Mars instead of the Moon. La question c'est à quel point t'es responsable de la tour, toi. Despite the project ending in failure, it has served to solidify his standing as a unique intellect. Well, a machine life form who is endlessly mocked by the children in Pascal's village. Who he seems dense, is actually a clever unit that possesses advanced fault circuitry. His less than clever facade is actually an elaborate act designed to grant him knowledge of others' true nature. J'aime bien. Ah bah c'est là. Ok, enhanced machine. Machine life forms covered in red and black paint. While they resemble standard machine aside from the color scheme, their internal specs are actually above average. Je pense qu'après les descriptions vont être assez familières. Ah non, c'est ok, c'est les mêmes pour tous. Mais pas besoin de vérifier. Ok, EMP attack machine. Machine life forms with extendable necks that resemble a human spinal cord. They attack with electromagnetic pulses that interfere with a variety of functions. Et bon, du coup, on les connaît. Ah, il y a que 4, ok. Special Unit Machines, Marks. A massive Goliath-class machine life form that resembles heavy machinery of old, where it appears to have been constructed solely for its destructive abilities. A closer look at its features tells a different story. While in combat it comes after foes with a reproposed bucket wheel excavator. Angles, ah voilà. Là on parle. A massive Goliath-class machine lifeform disguises the building. The tremendous amount of energy running through its body forces the unit to emit steam in order to stay cool. When attacking, the heat generated from its arms often causes them to become engulfed in flames. Thought to have been produced in a limited number, multiple units were recently discovered at the abandoned factory, though they were eventually destroyed by black box reaction from 9SN. Enfin, 9SN2B. J'ai inversé les deux, mais vous avez dit. Ah non. This unit has achieved an unusual level of evolution among machine life form as it possesses a strong resemblance to androids. Born naked from a cocoon of machine life forms, its movement was initially quite clumsy. It grew rapidly, however, and promptly began learning new methods of attack. Adam was again encountered inside the alien mothership. Strangely enough, he spent parts. Alors attendez, je vais le mettre dans le mort. Spent part of that fight lecturing his foes about how the aliens made their ends at the hand of the machines. Deeply fascinated with mankind, he seeks to dissect the humans surviving on the moon. Il aurait été déçu s'il avait atteint. Adam also appeared in the copied city. His fascination with humanity led him to create the copied city in an attempt to imitate them. Then he separated himself from the network and put his life on the line against 2B in an attempt to better understand the concept of life and death. While he eventually gained the knowledge he sought, the price was his own life. Okay. No, Eve. This unit was achieved it first appears after splitting off from another machine. Eve was again encountered in the lane of the ship. He has the ability to regenerate no matter how many times he is killed and adores the unit known as Adam, who he thinks of as an older brother. After going mad with rage over the loss of Adam, Eve gained the ability to unleash powerful attack with an arm clad in debris. Thanks to the desperate hacking and work of 9SN, j'arrive plus à lire, he was eventually separated from the network and killed. The light tank, version amusement park. Found in the ruins of the amusement park, this tank-like Goliath-class machine-like form has a tread-based system of locomotion that lets it cover all manner of terrain. Je vois, ça commence à être dur. Appearance-wise, the unit seems to be part of the park itself, right down to its decorative lights and a turret that fires colorful confetti. Strangely enough, it also insists on obeying archaic traffic laws, even going so far as to use turn signals and brake lights. Ok, rigolo. Simone. Goliath class machine lifeform model after an opera singer. This unit attacks foes using the repurposed body of living androids. Obsessed with a certain other machine lifeform, she put great thought into her appearance, even going as far as to cannibalize on her own kind. J'ai vraiment du mal. Alas, such garish decoration only ended up being a spectral display of poor taste. Her search for beauty eventually led to her demise when she attacked Tully and Nines. Goliath Fire. Quand est-ce qu'on le voit lui? Ah oui, c'est les unités volantes ça. A flying Goliath class machine lifeform with a tank-like machine attached to its bottom section. During combat, his center's portions function as a hangar that can release numerous small flying machines, while the main body is capable of firing large quantities of energy rounds. Rude, ah, je me disais bien. A machine lifeform of extreme size that was developed specifically to annihilate androids. However, due to its tendency to also attack its fellow machines, it was eventually discarded into the sea. The part that was initially thought to be its entire body turned out to be merely its head, causing the Colossus to reach over 1 km de haut, quoi, when standing. Seemingly invincible due to powerful EMP defenses and thick armor, the unit was eventually destroyed when 9S directed missiles straight into its mouth. Emmanuel, small machine lifeform known as the Forest King, was destroyed following the sudden appearance of the Android A2. Ernst, the first king of the forest who rotted away in the deepest reaches, left there through the ages, its body is covered in unfathomable quantities of moss. The grave at its side contains historical data inscribed by the Secretary of the Forest Kingdom. Kierkegaard, the machine lifeforms who formed a colony in the abandoned factory worshipped these particular units as their founder. He has since ceased to function, which his followers take as proof that he became a god. Discutable. Sushi, a multi-leg Goliath class machine lifeform equipped with 2 massive blades. By emitting energy from the tip of its leg, it can move about as gliding across the ground. The unit's sides serve as weapon racks that can launch missiles and other projectiles, while additional plating attached to its leg reinforces his weak armor. When the situation demands it, the unit can purge this plating and transform into a spherical form capable of spin attacks. Okay. Beaucoup chic, ils n'ont pas le même. Hein. Multi-leg Goliath class machine lifeform equipped with an offensive firearm unit. This long-range menace can also emit electricity from the tip of its legs, turning nearby water-covered waters into danger zone. Hegel était insupportable, on s'en souvient très bien. A unit formed through the linking of several multi-legged Goliath class machine lifeforms, its colossal energy output is enough to keep even its enormous body afloat, and also permits it to separate and regenerate at will while unleashing a variety of attacks. Pire boss du jeu. Goliath 5, a tank-like Goliath class machine lifeform found at the abandoned factory. It requires a number of smaller units to function, including a commander in the top section of the turret, an operator in the front chambers, and various other machines scattered through. The top-mounted cannon is capable of firing energy rounds and powerful lasers, while the front contains an arm-like structure that can strike and cleave foes with ease. Finally, the rear section boasts both an attacking hammer on a crane and a cargo unit that can carry additional machines into battle. L'espèce de grosse boule qu'on n'avait jamais vu avant de l'avoir dans l'arène. Auguste. Machine lifeform that plays the role of older brother to countless followers. It has the appearance of a standard medium-sized biped save for its arms, which are formed from a number of link sphere-type machines. Be wary when approaching, for it has been known to display tremendous anger when its brothers are armed. Je me souviens même plus quand on l'a affronté. Friedrich. A little brother machine lifeform that desperately poured oil into a machine he called his stably. The heat of battle, listening back for his brother's life to be spared, only to see him cut down without mercy. Koshi. Ah voilà, c'est un peu ce que je pensais tout à l'heure. A multi-leg Goliath class machine life form is equipped with two massive blades for combat close encounter, while its black body is covered in mysterious white symbol. J'avoue que c'est pas très facile d'identifier à quoi c'est censé faire référence. Roshi. Multi-leg Goliath class machine life form vicinity is equipped with a firearm unit for long range combat, while its white body is covered in mysterious black symbols. Et après, du coup, la fusion des deux. Koshin Roshi. Machine life form formed by combining two multi-leg Goliath class units. Former leg section of it combined units have been repurposed into a pair of powerful arms, making it capable of rolling out powerful attacks from both close and long range. Radio. Official name Terminal. A program projected by the network server of the machine life form, the self-evolution program installed by the pod eventually fractured its ego, causing the various aspects of its personality to turn on each other. C'est la fin du jeu. Androids, il n'y a pas de description à la catégorie. Alors, Yoha standard moment. A Yoha member infected by a virus, having completely lost all sense of self, it is hostile towards all uninfected androids. Yoha Avian moment. A Yoha model infected by a virus. This armed model, which specializes in combat, also possesses heavy armor and remarkable defensive abilities. Flight unit, virus. Equipped with a flight unit, it prefers to attack unsuspecting foes from above. This opponent is every bit as formidable as one would expect considering the costly equipment at its disposal. Operators are not typically suited for combat, but exposure to the virus has caused its specs to exceed their standard functions. Such enhancements come at a significant price to both its body and systems, however. 8B. Your hard disaster used to be a captain. It had a deft command of multiple weapons and switched easily between them in combat. Ordered to be apprehended by command. For abandoning its post, it put a fierce resistance before being destroyed. Ouais, ça c'est les... C'est les androïdes qu'on a chassés parce qu'elles avaient déserté. Bah, du coup, tout en faisait partie. Your heart deserted, ordered to be apprehended by command for abandoning its post, it put a fierce resistance before being destroyed. 64B. Your heart deserted, ordered to be apprehended by command for abandoning its post. 210. Pronounced 210. Kalman's killer data analysis. This operator was originally in charge of relaying messages to 9S. She personally requested to have her equipment transferred to a B model for the drop, after which she joined the battle as 21B before going missing. She was eventually encountered again at the Resource Recovery Unit in the Amusement Park ruins, where she had already been overrun by the virus. At the end, A2 had no choice but to take her life. Heureusement que c'était A2 et pas INS. To be copied, these copies of the Yoha B model created by the Tower attacked 9S after being infected by a virus. For 9S was eventually able to defeat them, the time detonation of their body blew off his left arm. Ok, 9S. Et du coup, je suppose qu'ensuite ça va être A2. Alors, this unit's official title is Model S number 9. While this Yoha member possessed offensive abilities, he specializes in survey missions and was particularly skilled at the information gathering and hacking. While 9S normally had a kind personality, he began to exhibit hatred for A2 when she killed 2B, for whom he possessed an unusual deep affection. In a cruel twist, he also met his end at the ends of A2. Et à l'inverse A2. The A model of the Yoha prototype that specializes in close quarter combat, though not presently in use, it was originally created to speed along the implementation of over official models such as 2B and 9S. This particular unit, official title is Class A number 2, was wanted by command for desertion and ordered to be destroyed on sight. She first appeared in the Forest Castle, where she slew the Forest King. 9B, 2B and 9S engaged her in combat, but she managed to escape. 9S and A2 face off. A2 tries to convince 9S of how pointless this fight is, but her words fail to penetrate the cloud of violent anger in his mind. During the battle, 9S hesitates for a moment when he hears a memory of Tubing calling out to him, leading to its demise. Une peculiar machine. Ah non, mais les... Ah, il y en a deux catégories encore. Trois catégories. Gorgeous browser, a small golden stubby that is accompanied by followers of the same color. They shot glowy to machine life forms as they attack. Fossil star, a small it attacks in an effort to avenge its older brother. It fought to avenge its tribe, which met its end at the hand of androids. After being defeated, it engages a self-destruct while cursing the name of androids. Bon, Gold Tank, voilà. Les trois premiers là, c'est vraiment l'escalade de l'avion. C'est d'abord t'en tues un, puis forcément l'autre cherche sa revanche, donc tu le tues aussi. Puis ça prend un effet de masse et le dernier essaie de venger tout le monde. Grace Tank Desert. A tank like machine life form with thorns and blades across its exterior as for its thoughts are dominated by mayhem as well as burning desire to avenge its comrade. La vache, très edgy. C'est le tank Mad Max. Mad biped, a small biped that imitates human culture by dressing like something out of a western. Like any good cowboy, it attacks with a gun and seems to use its deep-seated hat as a means of taking aim. Ouais, bon. Globalement, ils ont la même description. Blood Drench Machine. A machine life form drenched in blood, filled with resentment over the destruction of its comrade at the hand of the resistance. It now seeks revenge against all androids. Amusement Park Rabbit. Hello. Machine life form that mimics the bronze statues of the amusement park, donning a pair of rabbit ears. It attacks by flailing a trumpet. Peut-être lui qu'il faudra aller voir pour pixer d'ailleurs. Je me dis. Zombie clown. This machine life form, which resembles a clown, has assimilated stumps into its body. It lures victims with offers of play before spewing an unknown liquid from its mouth that is toxic enough to melt the skin of androids. Upon defeat, it offers thanks for playing with it. Okay. Animal machine qu'on a vu plus tôt du coup. This unit, a medium-sized quadruped with antlers on its head, resembles an animal in both appearance and behavior. After forming a pack of ferocious beasts, attacking the native animals, it appears to have been ostracized by its fellow machines life form. Reefkeeper, a medium-sized biped that was the grave of the Forest King's castle, attacking intruders on sight. The moss on its armor serves as proof of the many long years it has spent in this world. On sort taper le Godzilla. What fitted with extra part, this reverse-jointed Goliath-class machine resembles a dinosaur more than ever. It uses energy stored in its dorsal fins to fire lasers from its mouth. Goliath biped. This Goliath-class biped has multiple weapons lodged into its body and attacks without regard for friend or foe. It's one of the machine life forms that was injured in a failed suicide attempt. Ouais, c'est celle qu'on retrouvait en bas du pont justement. Cable machine with a dream. This brightly decorated Jean-Paul fan from the amusement park regards the philosopher as cool and mysterious. Et je n'ai pas appuyé sur le bon truc. She considers another of Jean-Paul's fan living in the desert to be her mortal enemy. She presented Jean-Paul with a gift of beautiful glass, only to have him reject it as a useless trinket, a response that inexplicably made her happy. She loves this Jean-Paul fan from the desert who wears clothing that reflects her view of the world, regards the philosopher as a passionate and inquiring mind. She also possesses a keen sense of smell, going so far as to sniff out the fact that to be a Nines came from Pascal's village. She presented Jean-Paul with a machine fossil, only to have him reject it as trash, a response that inexplicably made her happy. Un petit smiley sur l'épaule. Machine with makeup. This machine fan from Pascal's village, whose face is covered with a heavy coat of paint, regards the philosopher as someone who knows everything. She claims to be a female machine model, serving a proof that gender exists among their kind. After writing a letter to Jean-Paul, she was told he had no desire to reply, a response that inexplicably made her happy. Elle a une grosse bague aussi, hein. Vache. Romeo, one of the machine life form known as Romeo, after spring a non-stop diatribe of abuse, he suddenly descended into a murderous rampage. Juliet, one of the machine life form known as Juliet, after spring, he managed to survive the bloodbath that took the lives of her fellow Romeos and Juliet, but killed herself soon thereafter due to grief over the loss of her beloved. Toutes les belles de faveur cerveau. A machine life form that was a white belt and pursued the warrior's path. After suffering defeat at the end of 2B and 9S during training, he shamelessly began to pester them for payment. Despite being equipped with a... Ah ok, donc on va le faire ceinture par ceinture. Despite being equipped with a brown belt and being powered up with new parts, Father Sabo was defeated once more, seeking sympathy, even solicitized 2B and 9S for yet more parts. Despite a black belt and makeover, Father Sabo was still no match for 2B and 9S. Father Sabo underwent an even more radical redesign, including a snazzy red and white belt. However, his flurry of powerful attack was not enough to stave off an inevitable defeat. Donning a red belt and walking the path of the warrior to the end, Father Sabo went to the afterlife satisfied that he gave all in his final conversation with 2B and 9S. Shinoving Animal. Ah, c'est marrant, il vient avec le petit sanglier. A machine life form that appears riding atop a boar. It's mistakenly attacked 2B and 9S under the impression that they were harming local animals, but which reconciliation after the misunderstanding was cleared up. Caring for a weak and injured animal in a corner of the forest castle. This animal lover unique has an extremely calm heart. High-speed machine, a hasty machine life form that placed speed above all else. He challenged the party to a race, the winner of which would be named a true speedster. Afterward, he finally awakened to a calm within himself, and as he discovered the ugliness of competing with others, thus satisfied with his life, he chose to end it on its own terms. On s'en souvient. Masamune qu'on n'a pas battu encore. A blacksmith in the Forest Kingdom, his teacher was a master crafter known for improving the 8 legendary weapons of virtue and cruelty. He separated himself from the network due to an internal malfunction, so he is no longer hostile toward androids. He loves weapons more than anything, as proof of your respect for weapons, he grants you the weapon his teacher holds. Et donc ça c'est Emile. Emile, this mysterious creature emerged from inside of a machine life form and set up a shop after obtaining a new body, while he calls himself Emile. His true identity is a mystery. Once he discovered who had been stealing from his room, he was incited to fight, but after being defeated, he was reduced to tears by the realization that only power matters in this world. Ah ouais, donc c'est la version vraiment combat avec les affiches qui viennent avec quoi. Judgment Day et Pain, à chaque fois ça fait mal. Emile clone. These colossal Emiles were the sad final state of Emile copies. Attacking without warning, they possess the ability to unleash fierce attacks using magical weapons from the old world. At the end of this pitched battle, the true Emile stopped his doppelgangers with heartfelt words before annihilating them with a final strike. He then passed away with an expression of great relief, as if he had finally met the person he longed to see. Bon bah voilà, ça c'était sur toutes les unités qu'on rencontrait. Il y en a plus orienté combat que ce que j'aurais cru. Je pensais qu'il y avait un peu plus de petits de l'or, mais des trucs. Bon, les tutos. Je pense qu'il n'y a pas grand chose à dire sur les tutos. Oh, il y a un truc qu'on n'a pas fait aussi, c'est finir le challenge de tous les trucs de hacking. On va peut-être le tester. Weapon Stories. Ah, là on parle. Là on va parler. Alors, Faith. Oh, il y a même une image qui vient avec. Trop bien. Alors, in the capital of a distant eastern land, there lived a poet who was devoted to his art, but his word failed to touch the hearts of the people, and he could make no profit from them. Soon his life became unbearably hard. Seeing the limit of his talent, the poet chose to abandon the pen and walk the land instead. Soon his lily-white skin began to grow dark and his once straight body became sinewy and C'est plus la même histoire pour Faith, parce que si je me souviens bien, Faith c'était celle de quand il, justement avec un poète, de quand il tuait quelqu'un, il arrivait à écrire un beau poème derrière. He was as body became sinewy and tough. He eventually married a kind woman, and several years later they had a child. As the peaceful, uneventful days went on, the man began to feel that there could be no greater happiness in life. Also, the poet wrote before he put down his pen, swallowed the paper roll, and prayed that the next life might turn out so well. He then took Faith, already stained with the blood of another, and plunged it deep into its chest. Ah, sad. Ce qui peut être la continuité de ce qu'on connaissait de Faith d'avant en fait. Iron Pipe. Dad, if you're cold, I can give you my heart. You're the best favor in the world after all. Iron Pipe, c'est genre l'arme de NieR du début de Répliquant. Dad, if you're hungry, you can have my cookie. You're my favorite person in the world after all. Dad, if you're scared, I can only sleep by your side. You're my closest friend in the world after all. So please don't go anywhere, right, Dad? Don't leave your Yona all alone. Ok, donc ouais, c'est plus référence à Favor NieR qu'à Other NieR, parce qu'à l'époque d'Automata, il n'y avait pas eu le reboot. Mais c'était idée. Bisbane. Once upon a time there was 3 princesses. Ah oui, donc c'est celui-là où à la base c'était des princes, et là c'est une version avec des princesses à la place. The middle princess wasn't very bright, but she was renowned by all as a great beauty. When she came of age, she was married off to the king of a neighboring nation. The neighboring king adored his new wife and treasured her looks above all else. He gave the middle princess 6 new dresses and 8 fresh flowers every day, and his love caused her beauty to shine all the more. The middle princess did all she could to remain beautiful for her king, but she knew time would eventually catch up with her, as it did for all. So after much hard thought, she developed a cunning plan. The middle princess had herself stuffed and mounted so she could remain beautiful for all time. The king wept joyful tears at the sight, but alas, 2 years later, work broke and her body was crushed under the rubble of the castle. Vache, elle était motivée cette princesse. Hein. Se faire empailler pour garder sa tête. The girl lay there on the day of her wedding. Ça sent les attaques sur les références à comment elle s'appelle déjà. Mince. La princesse de façade. Ah. Bon, vous voyez de qui je parle. Si vous voyez pas de qui je parle, le prénom vous aurez rien dit. The girl lay here on the day of her wedding. Her parents and beloved were dead, and she herself had been violated in front of their corpses. Non, c'est pas la même. She swore to kill those who had done this terrible deed. A shining songbird appeared. Allow me to grant your wish, said the bird. Wish upon this dagger, and never forget this hatred that you feel. The girl grasped the weapon and spattered a tearful curse. I vow not to forget. Please give them a painful death. Donc pareil, c'est un autre spin sur ce qu'il y avait de la Phoenix Dagger. Time passed, and eventually she got her revenge. Years later, when she was an old woman, the songbird appeared anew. What of you vow? It asked, but she did not understand. And come to think of it, what became of her beloved dagger? That night, bandits broke into her house, assaulted her daughter, and murdered her grandchild. The songbird then reappeared with a single question: how long will your hatred burn this time? Horrible. Horrible, ça. One day a young girl's village was sacked by bandits. To protect her family, she took up a dagger her father had found in the mountains and killed one of them, an act that shocked her family. But the bandit fled, never to return. 5 years passed, then 10, then 20. While the family she protected began to grow old, the girl never aged. Eventually the other villagers began to shun her. With no one to turn to, she finally left her village and began to wander the earth, visiting many strange lands in the process. As the years passed, her skills and fame as a master sword fighter grew to legend. Eternal life, a powerful weapon, and boundless existence. She used these talents to become queen of a nation. And yet, there was emptiness in her life, for she still desired the kindness her family denied her after that fateful day. Je crois qu'en plus, le délire de Ancient Overlord, c'était le coup de l'épée, de tant que tu tues des gens avec, elle te maintient en vie. Dans l'histoire précédente. La version réplicante. Donc, vu qu'elle se bat tout le temps, bah ouais, c'est logique. Type 4 Sword, Yoha R&D Team Journal, August 29. The progress report meeting for the new weapon, considering how many observers we have from the other orbiting satellites, I can tell they expect a lot from us. December 10. We had our first car installation experiment today, saw some troubling signs, including issues with unexpected irregular output and core perimeters defenses. January 8, the circuits of 3 consecutive staffers burned out after attempting to remove the core's protection. I've requested replacement personnel. Command pulled the plug on our project. The weapon will go into official operation with the core still sealed. Ok. Donc c'est pour ça qu'elle fait de l'électricité en fait cette arme. C'est parce qu'il y a un corps dedans, ils se sont rendus compte que ah non c'est pas bon, mais en fait ils le laissent parce qu'ils n'ont pas réussi à l'enlever. Type 3 Sword. The craftsman's weapons were neither flashy nor attractive, but they never once failed in battle. This reliability afforded him a never-ending stream of loyal clients. Yet something nagged at the craftsman. For he'd forged many a weapon, he'd only tested them on pigs and cows. He wondered what it might feel like to use them on another human being. Ok, ça part mal. The craftsman took a sword to a battlefield and slashed at corpses, disappointed at how easily the sword slid through them. It wasn't satisfying at all. He wanted to really feel like he was ripping through flesh. The craftsman modified a sword in search of that feeling, not thinking at all of the pain it would cause. Until one night, a bandit broke into his home, snatched the weapon up, and showed him exactly how effective it was. Ah, dur. Ouais, parce que la Type 3 Sword, elle a des petits barbillons, je crois, pour la frappe. Virtuous Contracts. How long can I fight amidst this bloody vortex of the battlefield? How long, I wonder. How long can I continue to protect what I love amidst this endless war? How long, I wonder. How long can I continue to believe in a world laden with deceit and folly? How long, I wonder. How long can I lie to myself as I despair at the dark future of this world? How long, I wonder. Virtuous Contract, c'est l'épée avec laquelle on commence le jeu. Donc je pense que ça fait un peu référence au fait que les choses se répètent en permanence. Et Cruel Oath qui sont opposés du coup. Once long ago there was a group of 7 boys. Qui a la même image du coup. There was a group of 7 boys who were born in the same village. Though they were not brothers by blood, they treated each other as family. One cold night, a fortune teller appeared and warned of a traitor among them. Jamais dire ça. C'est le début des emmerdes. The boys laughed it off and went about their business, but the next morning one of them lay dead. With each passing night, another boy died. The survivors grew more and more suspicious of each other, each harboring terrible doubts about what happened to their brothers. On the morning of the 7th day, a single survivor stood tall. Cleaning the blood from his hands, he chuckled to himself, better go find the traitor. Oh no. Your Icy Blade. Morning listeners, it's time to kick off another installment of Listeners' Letters with your favorite radio idol DJ 2040, pardon. Now let's get this day started right, shall we? How's it going, listeners? Yeah, I know you're all still thinking about that cleanup operation yesterday, right? We may have lost a lot of good people, but it's still our job to get up and at them, right? Howdy listeners, your favorite DJ idol, DJ 224, en fait je dis 24 mais j'aurais à dire 240, hasn't been receiving many letters lately, don't you like me anymore? Or maybe no one is even listening. Anyway, who's ready to kick things off? Hello? Is anyone there? Is this thing even on? It's me, radio listeners. 240, I'm an idol, remember? An idol. Bon bref. Je pense que petit à petit, les gens qui t'écoutaient n'étaient plus là pour t'écouter 240. The more old records I read, the more fascinated I become by species known as human. Ah oui, on est dans les machines sortes là. Okay. We machines must do all we can to preserve these precious artifacts and continue to record their contents. I see from these records how important predation and reproduction were to human survival, and yet they viewed such acts as sinful. I wonder why. I found a famous human book today, but after reading it 10 times, it still makes no sense to me. What possible attraction could there be in such a thing? Eureka, it seems the answer was in front of me all along. I am simply incapable of comprehending anything about humanity or the world in general. Ah, how wonderful it is to live in a world swallowed in mystery. Ok. L'abandon pur et simple. Engine Blade. A small prince rests alone in a vast bedroom. He wishes his father knew how much he hates sleeping alone, but he doesn't dare to tell him, for the king is a very busy man and must not be disturbed. Donc Engine Blade, c'est l'épée qui vient de FF15, hein, donc c'est probablement des références à FF15. The king sits alone in his vast office, drowning in affairs of state. All he wants is to see his family and hug his son, but he cannot, for his every waking moment must be spent in service of the people. One day, while eating dinner, the king asks his son what he most desires in the world. He hopes he will say that he simply wants them to spend more time together, but instead the boy simply points at the sword hanging on the wall. The ancient sword is considered the sign that one is ready to rule. Someday, the king chuckles. His son faintly smiles back at him. All he really wanted was for his father to read him a bedtime story. Quand tu supposes des choses sur les gens. I was in a deep sleep when my mum started shouting, "Wakey, wakey!" She squawked. Pardon. Rise and shine, today is a very important day. Today is your first visit to the castle. I know, right? But I got up anyway. Today my 16th birthday, and I have an audience with the king. Mum's apparently worried that he'll charge me with some big important tasks, so she gave me a cypress stick for some reason, like that'll help. As we walk to the castle, Mom keeps blabbing about how excited she is and how long she's been waiting for this day. She's told me the story a million and one times, so I just keep quiet like always. When we arrive, I see my friend coming out of the castle. He's 16 too, but his fearless gaze makes him look like a legendary hero to me. I'm sure he's got a lot to live up to. My dad's just a carpenter, so I've got it easy here. Ok. Je suppose que c'est une ref à autre chose aussi, mais que je l'ai pas. Cypress stick. Ok. J'ai une proposition comme quoi le père de Jésus était un charpentier, il y avait peut-être une ref, mais ça me semble léger comme lien avec tout ce qu'il y a d'autre. Anyway. Iron Will. Donc Iron Will, c'était l'épée qui servait à détruire, qui avait été craftée par le frère qui avait survécu de l'histoire des robots dans Réplicante, et puis qui voulait faire pour détruire les robots. Donc, the Source Blade, dulled by years of idleness, was, as its name implied, a mere iron husk. Its blood-drenched youth was little more than a series of rusted memories with grated against its pock-marked steel. Who would wield this hunk of iron now that its edge was gone? Who might love it when all it could do was bash dully against the foe instead of cutting through flesh and blood? Who would devote themselves to such insanity? The sword sighed loftily, pleased to finally be at rest. But before it could peacefully crumble into dust, a group of power-hungry fools took it up and denied its rivalry anew. Red rust was the weapon's tears, the blood, fat, and muscle it tore through was proof of its curse. Now let it hew bone once more, let it ravet flesh, let it do all this and more as atonement for its sins. Est-ce que c'est référence au fait qu'on l'ait restauré dans Réplicante? Because twin souls were sacrificed to twin gods and bound to an unbreakable dual-bladed axe. Whether nicked or damaged, it would instantly repair itself. The two blades would never part, they would be together for the rest of time. The soul of the blade yearned to be as one, to grow old as one, to fall in love as one. This is why we both love the same person. I am myself, I am myself. Look at me, look at me. Give me love, give me love. Stop copying me, I'm not. We are together, we are one, life or death. Even if we kill our foes, even if we kill each other, our two bodies will be as one for all time. Somebody separate us. Oh God, please somebody help me. Sans oublier que Fang of the Twin, c'est quand même une arme qui existe depuis Drakengard. C'est une arme qu'on a utilisée dans tous les jeux, je pense. Quand je dis Drakengard, je parle de Drakengard 1. Once upon a time, there were three princesses. The eldest princess was thought by all to be the most brilliant woman in the kingdom, and she soon sat upon the throne of her homeland as their queen. The new queen raised a mighty army. To afford the endeavor, she taxed her people, and in turn, they were given jobs in new factories created to support the war effort. People worked, money flowed. As the army grew strong, the demand for factories grew with it. And then the cycle repeated. More work, more money, more work, more money. The queen's plan proceeded just as she had envisioned it. To further strengthen the kingdom, we were converted to machines to enhance our output in factories and the military. Our queen, in turn, became the control system that follows us to this day. Recherche du profit et de la productivité. Alors, Phoenix Sword. One day a hawk lost its way in the woods. Its proud wings soon grew weak as it tried in vain to find its way home. As death approached, a songbird took pity on the hawk and did its best to offer aid. The songbird slowly nursed the hawk back to health. The beautiful sight of the small white bird nested in the elegant wings of the hawk soon made its envy of all creatures in the forest. When the hawk was fully healed, it knew it was time to leave the forest, but before flying away, it promised the songbird it would one day return. In return, the songbird gave the hawk one of its shining feathers as a token of friendship. As promised, the hawk eventually returned, but with a human in tow. Well done, said the human. This feather will sell for a great price at the market. Then he slew the songbird in one blow and plucked its carcass. Non, je peux jamais faire confiance à personne. Hein. Type 4 or Blade. Alors, Development Journal 0504 Takada. I've come up with an incredible idea, something no one has ever done before. I'm going to start testing it out first thing in the morning. Oula, j'arrive mal. Nanana, 0704. The boss turned my idea on infusing metallic alloy with magic elements. Why is Dime fooled? Doesn't he see how much money we could make from this? Things aren't going well. My hair is falling out. I think it's the stress. I've got to find a way to make this project succeed, and soon. I looked up the data, but couldn't work out the problem. I'm not giving up. With Takada dead. Ah oui, c'est marqué 12-15 Fujita. With Takada dead, it's up to me. I'm the only one who can carry on his work. Peut-être que si on t'a dit de pas le faire, c'était qu'il y avait une bonne raison. The Great Sword was known for the intense pain it inflicted upon its victim. Ok, bah c'est encore une Type 3. This is what drove the man to carry it despite its weight, for he knew he would make others fear him, and thus could he avoid needless conflict. The man's reputation spread through the village despite never having withdrawn the blade. Don't make him use it, that horrid weapon, the villager whispered. The man smiled at this, for he knew that fear was the best path to peace. Soon the man had craftsmen forge a host of similar weapons. He gave them to all the other villagers in the hope it would force people to solve conflicts with words instead of violence. And his plan worked, for a while. Keeping all sides in check is simple when no one uses their power. But once that seal is broken, the end is nigh. Thus did the peaceful village transform itself into a living hell over the space of a single night. Ouais. Bah ouais, si tu veux pas que les gens se battent, leur donne pas d'armes, en fait. Virtuous strategy. First encounter with my lover, failed to connect with my lover, far away went my lover, with death went my lover to eternity. Non. Je sais pas ce que c'est censé représenter. Virtuous strategy en plus c'est donc une arme Yoran. I never forget the time we met. I knew ours was a love that would last for eternity, but even when by his side his feelings were a mystery, it was painful not to know what he was thinking, so painful. When I was close, I hurt him, yet being distant hurt him more. I finally found my place in life, a place where I am as close as possible, yet eternally distant. Ok, donc c'est les deux points de vue d'une même histoire en fait. Tout à l'heure quand je lisais les deux là. Non, Cruel Oath elle avait rien à voir, c'est dommage. Machine act, human fight, why? Why humans love? Why do humans band together? Why? Why are you alive? Phoenix Spear, legends tell of a mighty warrior who had no equal in battle. Granted immortality by a phoenix, he wandered from war to war, forever searching for ways to prove his strength. Ah, ça dit quelque chose, tout à fait. Eventually, the man's immortal body proved too much for his spirit, and he ran himself through with his own spear again and again. But each time he did, the wound closed itself, leaving not even a scar. He leapt from cliffs, threw himself into raging seas, and lit himself aflame, but nothing worked. Then, one day, he slipped mercifully into unconsciousness, and awoke centuries later to find a songbird on his chest. You have atoned for your sins, said the bird. If you wish me to free you from your solitary existence, I will gladly do so. The man wept tears of joy and whispered thanks to the god before suddenly stomping the bird to death. Ah, il a remercié en pensant qu'il était vraiment mort. Et en fait, il dit que non. Ou alors, lui, il a conscience que les songbirds, c'est visiblement pas des bons trucs. Si on reprend au précédent. Ce qui est marrant parce que c'est un truc qui est un peu repris dans NieR Reincarnation. Il y a des oiseaux noirs qui foutent la merde partout. Alors, once upon a time, there were 3 princesses. The youngest princess was widely regarded as the ugliest woman in all the land, but her heart was gentle, honest, and pure. Hoping to aid others in need, the youngest princess would travel to the field to offer succor to peasants, but they would reject her kindness with cruel words. The young princess knew her looks were driving people away, yet she kept donating her life to the service of others, figuring that the fault lay in her own lack of devotion. Day after day this continued for years without her. The youngest princess died alone, curled in the back of a damp, wet alley. She was so ugly that no one had the courage to give up her burial. Instead, she rotted where she lay, turning ever uglier until she faded into the earth. C'est méga triste. Comme quoi, hein. Les gens sont pas très ouverts quand il est question d'apparence. I had a dream about the day we met. He was small, he was insignificant, he was weak, yet he hated the world just as I did. I decided to aid him. Oh, Dragoonlance, ok. Dragoonlance, c'est la lance qu'utilise Inuart dans Dracamila, si je ne dis pas de bêtises. Thus, I decided to aid him, and he did the same for me. Thus was our friendship born. It wasn't perfect, of course. Mistakes were made along the way. Still, we remained friends. The blue wind that caresses these grasslands has a pleasing scent. I bring my cheek to his and he twitches, almost as if tickled. Then I sprain my wings and let him ride me into the skies above. Alors la fin m'étonne plus du côté Inuart avec Legna, mais c'est plus imaginable avec, j'ai oublié le nom du protag de Drakengard 2, qui aussi suivait Legna. In a distant kingdom, there lived two princes. The son of the queen consort was clever and of mind, but weak of flesh. The son of the king's second wife was dim-witted, yet charming, and quite gifted in the art of war. Which prince would succeed the throne? When news came down that the king had died in battle, the two men each declared themselves the next true king, rallying the people to take the side of one or the other. In the midst of his coronation battle, a third man appeared, claiming to be the prince. Bright, capable, and brave, he dispatched the two foolish brothers and went on to become a wise and just king beloved by all. Decades later, the king announced on his deathbed that he wasn't royalty at all, but in fact was the son of a commoner. Upon hearing this revelation, the people stormed the castle and hung their beloved ruler from the rafter. Ah, la mentalité de la monarchie dans leur truc, là, c'est genre... On a pris quelqu'un de plus capable, mais en fait, il n'était pas de sang royal. Donc, on va écraser tout ce qu'il a fait. Type for Orleans. Ah, un autre idol, ok. Hi guys, it's me, 42S, your favorite Yoha squadron idol from North, want to see Defense HQ. I'm here with the latest hot scoop from the front lines, so let's get out here and do our best, alright? Go team! Hey ho, Battlefield buddies, I'm not gonna lie here, the current war situation isn't looking too optimistic, but we're expecting reinforcements from our orbiting satellites base any moment, so don't give up yet, glory to mankind. Mayday, mayday, this is publicly Agent 42S from North 12C Defense HQ. Is anyone listening? Our facility has been completely surrounded by machines, I don't know how much longer we can hold. No broadcast for me channel. Ok, donc ça c'est mal fini. The unadored lens pierced her foes with machine-like accuracy. Ok, donc type fruit, donc encore les trucs assez sadiques quoi. The grind of metal on bone in tandem with the pain scream of her victims created sweet music in the mercenaries girl's ears. Day after day, she returned to the battlefield to compose more music. Here, a giant of a man, fat rippling from his side. There, a slimmer gentleman whose bones would surely produce a sweeter sound. Ah, who to stab first? The girl fought for her age, stabbing uncountable foes in an effort to find the ideal scream, that sonorous, bone-grinding sound. Yet perfection eluded her no matter how hard she tried. Would she ever find what she saw? Je sens qu'elle va finir par se stabber elle-même. Suddenly she turned to find a fine-looking hunk of meat at her side. Stabbing it produced a scream so pure, she couldn't help but smile. She continued to smile as she stabbed, no longer able to recall that the hunk was her own child. Ok, c'était encore pire. The elegant white spear was crafted by a tyrant as a gift for his wife, whose parents he had killed years earlier. She slipped it under the bed they shared, then later used it to run him through 40 times. Donc le mec savait ce qu'il avait en tête. C'est ce qui allait se passer. The spear's second owner was a courageous bandit fighting mayor. In her later years, her strength faded, until one night a pack of young thugs surrounded her and took all she had, including her life. The third owner was a greedy merchant who lived to swindle customers. Soon she found herself shunned and penniless, and so decided to hang herself. The unused spear rested in a corner of her home as a decoration. The fourth owner was a meek young boy who wanted to aid his sickly young sister. He gave all to his cause, including his very existence and that of all else in the world. Donc, bon, Lance qui qui ne porte pas chance, hein, ça se voit, je pense. Le dernier, c'est évidemment NieR. Et le fait qu'il ait condamné le monde en essayant de sauver Yona. Quelle arrogance. The dark hideous lens was crafted by a beautiful female artisan. As people far and wide praised its design, the artisan's apprentice grew jealous and slew her. The lens itself soon vanishing into the mist of time. J'ai l'impression qu'on va repartir sur le même pattern. The lens's second owner was a puppeteer who crafted a clockwork doll capable of doing nearly anything. When he put the lens in the doll's hand, she lashed out and pierced the puppeteer's skull right between the eyes. Okay. The third owner was an infant prince who was gifted the lens by the Queen Regent. She died soon thereafter, and on the night of her funeral, the lens vanished from the infant's room, leaving behind only a tiny corpse in the crib. No. The fourth owner was a simple, honest man who wanted to aid his sickly daughter. He gave all to his cause, including his very existence and that of all rest in the world. Donc là, la version faveur NieR, à la place de browser NieR. Spear Machine. My name is Plateau. Ah, Plateau, il est là. I'm a failure of a machine. I was designed for combat, but I can't use weapons. Everyone makes fun of me, and my life is horrible. I was a dumb machine. I'm a dumb machine. I got lost during battle and ended up in some kind of factory. I found a whole pile of dolls discarded there. They share the same fate I do. I'm a foolish machine. Today I had to fight at that factory. All of the dolls got completely destroyed, crushed by my friends and foes who can do nothing but fight, fight, fight. I activated my cannon and shot everyone there. I'm not sure why I did that. All I know is I decided to fight. Because I'm just a stupid, broken machine. Un tout petit peu plus d'infos sur ce qui s'est passé de Plateau, mais en vrai, ça dit pas grand chose d'autre. Combat Braces. Donc là, on est plus sur des armes nouvelles parce que les. Il y avait que dans Dragon 3 qu'il y avait les fils. Once there was a demon who had an affinity for angels. He dreamed of serving alongside them and their god, yet cursed the impossibility of it all. Then one day, he came to Earth, bringing himself a step closer to heaven. An angel was sent to slay the demon. When the evil one saw his foe, he burst into tears and... Je me suis raté. And revealed his plan. Please, the demon begged, you must give me a set of white wings for my very own. The angel agreed to trade a set of white wings for the head of another demon. Overjoyed, the demon killed one of his own and plucked the head right off its still warm body. The angel then led the demon to heaven, where he underwent centuries of the cruelest torture imaginable. Finally, the pain was so great that he lost consciousness, at which point his dark wing turned the promised shade of white. Sure. Okay. Once there was a gentle angel who came to Earth to provide salvation for those in need. Whether it was curing illness, offering blessing, or cheering the sad, he was always there when needed. The angel, however, provided aid to sinners and non-believers as well, an act which was strictly forbidden. Each time he did so, a single white feather would fall away from his glorious wings. One day the angel came across a young girl with an illness that pained her deeply. But he could do nothing to help the child, for all his feathers had long since fallen off. The angel cursed both himself and the cruelty of this world. The resulting hatred stained his body and his wing, turning them both black as night. Then, crying tears of blood, he brought his hand to the girl's neck. Seul moyen dont il peut l'aider, c'est ça? Type 4 Office. System Yoha, unit data uploading, check out HC, close IO, duplicate core, find Yoha unit, updating data, checking data, approach conversation. Hello, c'est Chiou. Chiou qui avait pas resub encore. Merci Chiou pour le resub. Merci beaucoup. 16 mois, GG. Purge unit, data, purge system data, exit. Donc c'est juste le cycle d'une unité qui va se charger, enfin se download, se faire détruire, retourner à l'update. Il se répétait, je suppose. J'ai déjà sub il y a 2 heures, mais il y a seulement eu le message. Ah! Type 3 fists. The man wailed an inhuman scream as he brought his fist down. Ok, je me disais ça. Bon, on l'a refait. The man wailed an inhuman scream as he brought his fist down on his opponent's skull. He brought it down again, and again, and again, until the victim was nothing more than a splatter of blood and bits. The man had a beautiful wife that drove everyone wild with jealousy. They lived a simple, happy life, yet the man always strove to keep his wife safe from above all else. Safe above all. One night, the man came home to find a stranger in his bed. His wife told him that he had forced himself on her, at which point the husband flew into a rage and vowed to exact revenge. The man bought a weapon from a craftsman famed for forging instruments of pain, then used it to punish his wife, for he could not abide that she failed to protect her virtue. His revenge was complete. Horrible personne. I see you in my sleep, restless sleep. My heart flies to pieces each time I wake. I burn to see you in the real world. I hunt for the woman who pines for you. The screams pleases me. Your body and heart shall be mine. Your heart, I long for it. Yet it does not return my love in kind. All you care for is your cold dead wife. So I must at least take your body. Your head is mine, beautiful head. The eyes as calm me all are so lovely now. Hate me if you like, begrudge me all, you are still mine forever. Ok. Il y avait une histoire comme ça déjà dans les armes précédentes de la meuf super jalouse qui finit par tuer le mari et sa femme pour récupérer le mari. Clement. Ah, c'était Virtuous Grief, ok. I take up the sword and battle for you, my heart knows not fear, instead burning with a love strong and pure. I swing my sword for you, spattering blood across my sleeves. I smile as chaos continues. I brandish my sword for you, victims uncountable, victims beyond measure. Their dying wails come the song of my sleep. I cry out, give me your head. I capture you as you flee and take it. I do all this for you, for you, for you. Who are you? Quelqu'un qui s'est un peu perdu dans sa quête. La cruelle ironie. Machine heads. I lack parts, I am useless, my existence is unnecessary, I tried so hard. Oui, parce que c'est quand tu tapes directement en utilisant des têtes de machine à la place. Emile said, ok, celui-là ça va être intéressant. 09 24 12422. I confirm that the machine life forms released by the aliens have reconstructed their network. I've started to see units with gravity controlling abilities again as well. This guys. I was spawned about a week ago, so I don't have a clear recollection of anything before that. Say, I wonder where the original disappeared to all those million years ago, donc... Quand il dit spawn, ça doit être un des clones, du coup, d'Emile. I confirm that the 25th one born after me has stopped his biological activity. Although we are technically immortal since we can respawn indefinitely at all, we're still not extant from death. Ouais, donc encore un autre clone qui est mort. Our memories are only copies, so they're pretty vague. But Android wearing black, I have the feeling I've met her before. She had a complicated look on her face, but I can't remember anything. Référence peut-être au fait qu'à chaque fois qu'on croise Emile pour qu'il nous vende des trucs, il est en mode déjà très friendly. Je sais pas. Picture book, les picture books on les a déjà vus. Fishing encyclopédia, on va lire les poissons. Et les novels on les a déjà lus aussi. Donc je vais vous les épargner. Mais les poissons. Alors, arowana, an ancient freshwater fish, though it lacks any real purpose, it was quite popular with some humans for some reason. Twin fish. A two-headed freshwater fish that resembles an arowana, but it's actually a different species entirely. The upper head constantly surveys the environment for threats, while the lower head searches for river bottom for food. Both heads are capable of independent thought and its lifespan is said to be greatly affected by how well they get along. Oui, ça paraît logique. Killifish, qui a une méga grosse description pour la taille qu'il fait. A small freshwater fish, roughly an inch long, because of its size often ends up getting tangled up inside machine lifeforms that venture into water, causing all kinds of interesting malfunctions. It's said to attempt by hundreds to use the killifish as a weapon, but its military use was never approved. Mostly due to angry demonstrations by underlying killifish fanatics, many of whom like to keep them as pets. Unfortunately for the killifish, they lack the same kind of determined lobbying effort among machine life forms. Ok, donc les machines ont peut-être utilisé le killifish de manière... Carp. An extremely common and completely harmless freshwater fish, bloodfish. A freshwater fish with a hugely inflated front part. The inflated part is very soft due to the air bladder inside, but it doesn't like being touched there very much. Koi carp. This freshwater fish is nearly as common as the regular carp. It's quite resilient to contaminated environments and can often be found where no other fish dare to trade. Effectivement. Fur carp. An old species of carp covered in hair, which give it the appearance of something one might find in a covered rain. This hair helps to maintain its body temperature, allowing the fish to survive on land for a short period of time. As a result, it's not uncommon to see them sunbathing near riverbanks. C'est rigolo. Freshwater ray. Fish. A huge type of ray that contains sharp spines on its tail fin and should be approached with caution as a result. Many machine lifeforms travel in groups in hopes of catching a glimpse of this creature, though it is thought to be the result of a machine leg regarding a gigantic ray. A machine legend, pas magic. Qu'est-ce que je raconte? Bon bref, il espère que ça va reprendre une légende qui existe contre les machines. Arapaima. A large flesh-eating fish known as the king of the rivers. It doesn't have a particular use, but the size and nasty temperament make you feel good about yourself when you catch one. Well done, you. Merci. Oil sardine. The unusual fish that lives in waste oils, the sheer amount of sludge coating its body makes it difficult to know what it actually looks like. Beetlefish. A species of beetle that once lived in land before evolving to hang out in the water instead. Still capable of flight, it can be seen soaring over the oceans during full moons. Ah sérieux? Waterflea. Vous le voyez, c'est le pixel au centre de l'image, au centre de la case. Il existe. A flesh-eating crustacean that lived in fresh water a long time ago. Though tiny, it has surprisingly powerful claws. Il est là. Vous voyez pas ma souris? Si vous voyez ma souris. Two-Face. A gnawed fish with head at both sides of its body. However, it only looks like this during the first year of its life. Once it matures, the largest head becomes the actual head, while the other one just gives up and becomes the tail instead. Ah, c'est le giraffarique des poissons, quoi. Kelakant. A large fish from the age of antiquity. They used to live in small numbers in the deep sea, but have lately been appearing in shallow water. Je pense qu'ils ont... Leur sélection des poissons, ça a vraiment été bon. Alors quel truc pourrait survivre aussi longtemps, aussi loin, et dans d'aussi mauvaises conditions? Et pourquoi on est 7 à me regarder maintenant alors que tout à l'heure on était 3? Bienvenue, coucou. Installez-vous bien. On est en train de lire. Blowfish. A poisonous fish that can cause hallucinations when consumed. Some androids use components of this fish to create powerful drugs, but you really don't want to fall in with that crowd. C'est compliqué à lire. Blowfish quoi? Swordfish, oui. A large fish that swims with incredible speed, known as the king of the seas. It doesn't have a particular use, though it does make you feel good about yourself when you catch one. Use that for you. Ouais, c'est les poissons rares quoi. Mackerel. A common poisonous fish. It congeals fluids inside under its body when intense, so its consumption has been outlawed. Strangely enough, it has no effect on humans. Oui. Horseshoe crab. An arthropod that lives in shallow waters. Their shells are used by some females androids to cover their chest in sort of a fashion statement. Ok. Je sais pas si on en a vu. Qui le portait. Starfish. This creature uses its 5 arms to move about while the mouth at its center inhales dead fish and clams. Despite the appearance, it's actually quite friendly and will often move closer if you try to touch it. Okay. Bream. A fish that is roughly as common as a mackerel due to its infatuation with human behavior. Some androids like to catch and consume the fish despite such incidents being wholly unnecessary. Infatuation with human behavior. Ah, to un infatuation. Ok, donc c'est les androïdes qui veulent reproduire le comportement. Je pensais que c'était le poisson qui était amoureux des humains, je comprenais pas. Hop. Basking shark. An incredibly large shark with a surprisingly warm personality that exists on a diet of plankton. Oh, le gentil requin. Killifish machine, parce que ça existait? J'avais jamais remarqué. A machine life form resembling a killifish. Due to its wondrous appearance, some killifish fanatics among NieR soldiers have started keeping these creatures as pets, to the frustration and confusion of their commanders. Koi carp machine. A machine life form resembling a koi carp. It is surmised that fish machine life forms were created to scare away the real fish mankind used for food. It looked very much like the native species, so whoever made them did their job very well. Pourquoi ils voulaient... Ah, c'est les machines qui les ont créées. C'est vraiment les machines qu'ils ont créées en mode... Bah, les humains, ils pourront plus se nourrir s'il n'y a plus les poissons normaux. Ok. Fish machines are all extremely aggressive, which help deal a huge blow to the ecology of aquatic life on Earth. Once they had fulfilled their purpose, all maintenance was stopped, but they still managed to adapt to and thrive in their environment. As a result, current species are no longer hostile toward androids and instead concentrate on not dying, much like any other animal. In contrast to land-based machines, however, their data bank are no longer synced, so the evolution of their intelligence has pretty much ground to a halt. La vache, elle est longue la description. Many machine fish have formed symbiotic relations with natural ones, allowing them to consume the seasonal organism on their bodies, not as much such as moss and barnacles, in exchange for protection. Trop bien. With natural fish performing their maintenance, machine fish now live lives which are the exact opposite of what they were designed to do. In recent years, new ecologies have been observed as a result of such symbiotic relationships. Some, for instance, have formed colonies in order to protect themselves, leading to increased aquatic life across the planet. Of course, the current ecology is quite different from when mankind still inhabited Earth, but the sheer quantity of fish is sure to be a surprise when they finally return for the moon. Ouais, ils pourront juste pas bouffer les carpes, et de toute façon, il n'y a plus d'humains. However, there are even bigger changes afoot. With no new fish machines being created, they are predicted to go extinct somewhere over the next 150 years. Scientists have greatly interested. Scientists have greatly... Ah, purée, mais je sais plus lire. Scientists are greatly interested in what may happen to the original native fish when they lose their mechanical protectors. Arapaima machine. A machine life form resembling an Arapaima. Due to its enormous size, it has no natural enemies and thus resides safely at the top of the aquatic food chain. As such, it can usually be found lazily drifting near the surface bordered of its curve. Carp machine. A harmless machine life form resembling a carp. En même temps, la carpe était déjà pas très dangereuse. Bloatfish machine. Machine life form resembling a bloatfish. The part of its body that would function as a NieR bladder in a regular bloatfish contains various minerals, so it can be sold for a decent price on the market. Ok. C'est ça qu'il faut qu'on regarde. Faut qu'on regarde combien on a de chaque poisson, parce que là, il y en a, on les a beaucoup vus en pêchant. A machine life form resembling a blowfish. Contrary to real blowfish, this creature is not poisonous, for its highly developed jaw is capable of tearing holes in an android's body, so approach with caution. Ok. Swordfish machine. A machine life form resembling a swordfish, vastly more powerful than its real-life counterpart. This creature is not an easy catch, making it a popular target among fish fanatic androids. Starfish machine. A machine lifeform resembling a starfish, its mobility is roughly the same as a regular starfish, so it's hard to imagine this creature was designed to have an impact on aquatic life. To this day, researchers have not yet reached a consensus on why it exists. Bream machine. A machine lifeform resembling a bream. Its extremely aggressive nature has caused many a careless android to return home from a peaceful day of fishing with fewer appendages than before. Oh shit. Alors que le normal, il est genre celui qui cherche à bouffer quoi. Kelacant machine. A machine lifeform resembling a kelacant. Only found in deep sea, this creature is a very rare catch, Due to their hostile takeover on regular kelacant territory, the native species has been forced to move to shallow water. Ah, c'est pour ça qu'on les trouve pas au même endroit. Mackerel machine. Machine lifeform resembling a mackerel, like the regular mackerel, it has negative effects on androids when consumed. Ah, tu peux aussi le manger. Ok. Fortunately, it only makes their body itch all over, so things certainly could have been worse. Ah oui. Non. Horseshoe crab machine. A machine lifeform resembling a horseshoe crab. Their shells are used as shoulder pads by some male androids, because good taste is apparently not a prerequisite for good fashion. Okay. Arowana machine. A machine lifeform resembling an arowana. This creature is unusual in that the native species was able to fight it off and drive it away. The lesson here is to never insult an arowana's family. Basking shark machine. A machine lifeform resembling a basking shark. Much like its flesh and blood counterpart, it's a very friendly creature and can often be seen frolicking about with other sharks in the sea. Ça j'aime bien. Freshwater ray machine. A machine lifeform resembling a freshwater ray due to a production error. This modest tail is split in two. Ah, trop drôle. Machine lifeform head. So white gold head of a machine lifeform in high demand. It fetches a very nice price on the market. On en a genre 4. Ah, ça y est, les déchets donc. Tire. A tire from the resistant vehicle. Ships carrying cargo are often sunk, so the sea floor is littered with many such android commodities. A cylinder. A storage container for fuel used by resistance. The cylinders are highly explosive, so improperly disposing of them is strictly forbidden. A code engraved on the bottom of the cylinder allows it to be tracked to the owner, who is then promptly punished by Yoha. Okay. Battery. A battery used by the resistance. Many such batteries mysteriously disappear after being discarded. It's believed that they are secretly being carried off by machine lifeforms. Broken firearm, qui est le dernier truc, je crois. Ouais. A portable anti-machine rocket launcher. This device was created to combat machine lifeforms and even has considerable effect on Goliath class units. Machine lifeforms often refer to it as that OWI things. Le truc qui fait mal. Et bah écoutez, on a fait le tour de l'Intel. On a dit les pictures, on les revoit pas. Et les nouvelles. Ah, quoi qu'on pourrait peut-être revoir les pictures, juste pour le principe. Les quêtes, on va pas relire les quêtes, je pense. Déjà parce que c'est long. Et que s'il y a des trucs pertinents dedans, c'est plus qu'on les relira. J'en reparlerai dans le récap final, je pense. Niveau item, je vais juste du coup vérifier les poissons. 7 Orwana, un Twin Fish, 74 Key Fish, 33 carpes, un Bloatfish, 37 Koi Carp, 2 Four Carp, un Freshwater Ray, un Arapaima, un Oil Sardine, 21 Waterflea, un Two-Face, 2 Kelacant, 15 Blowfish, un Swordfish, 5 Horseshoe Crab, un Beetlefish, 5 Starfish, 8 Bream, 7 Basking Shark, un Killifish Machine, un Koi Carp. Il y en a plein, forcément, je les ai qu'une fois. 12 Basking Shark Machine quand même. On en a 3 des machines formes. Tac, tac, tac. Anyway. Ouais, bon, vous savez qu'on va juste revoir vite ça les picture books pour récap.
Once, long ago, a volcano erupted. From the fires of the eruption, a god emerged. One day, the god appeared before the machines and said,
Ouais, donc dans ma tête, ça reste toujours l'histoire de BP qui sort de sa factory et qui donne la conscience au robot.
They were found by the machines. The machines called them treasures. Each treasure had a different shape. Each treasure had a different shape.
Je sais déjà plus à quoi ça fait référence, ça.
I killed my father. I killed my mother. I killed my father. I killed my mother. And in his hand he coldly gripped both the joy of growing up and the agony of being alone.
Ça, je crois que c'était après la révélation de EVA, donc il dit que les machines ont tué les aliens, je crois. Ça, c'est le forest king, du coup.
Or rain, thunder or snow, or even amidst the rising flames of war, they were always together. They never understood why, and yet they spent their lives nestled together, forever, forever and ever.
Ce qui fait un peu suite de ce qu'on a lu tout à l'heure sur le background.
The child held sway over enormous strength. But sadly, he was also a little bit broken. He spent his long days hurting those around him. He tried his best to be good and kind. But despite his efforts, things never seemed to turn out. They told him he was unwanted. They abandoned him in the deep, dark ocean. And from the cold at the bottom of the sea, he cried out, "Mother, Mother, Mother, Mother." But his voice never reached his mother.
Ah, ça, c'était l'histoire de Groon.
Each of the machines treated their treasures with great care. One treasured family above all else. Another treasured its older sibling. Another treasured its own beauty. But one more machine treasured something unique above all else. Hate.
Ouais, les treasures, c'est les raisons de vivre, quoi, en gros.
After a long period of battles and adventures, the prophet spoke. Oh, grant me the mercy of the land. Oh, grant me the joy of the heavens. Release me from my yoke of iron. Thus shall our souls be saved. Forever and ever. Forever and ever.
A long time ago, I was created to be a weapon. A weapon that could adapt to any environment, and one capable of total destruction.
You're a weapon?
When the war against the aliens started, I decided to strengthen that weapon by creating copies of myself.
Interesting.
So, in truth, I'm only one of a countless number of Emils. Or we, I guess, worked with each other to keep our defensive lines intact. But the more of ourselves we created, the more our original memories began to fade.
Donc ça c'était les 3 des arènes, on les a vus il y a pas longtemps, donc je vais pas les remettre. Bon, si elle est comme ça, on aura un moment qui compile tout.
In order to advance through the darkness, one requires the guiding lifeline. However, if one lets oneself get too restricted by these chains, one is doomed to lose sight of everything.
Yeah.
Stronger. Stronger. You must become stronger. That's what they kept telling me, so I tried. I tried to become stronger. I tried, and I tried. But in the end,
Et le dernier.
to consider someone a friend is to consider someone else your enemy. Perhaps this is what is meant by the emotion called discrimination. An emotion that seems to consume me as I speak.
Voilà. Bon, vu que la lecture a pris plus de temps que ce que je pensais, on est déjà au moment de la fin du stream. Ce qui fait que bon, techniquement, il reste toujours 2 trucs à finir dans le jeu. Hein. Il reste l'arène des robots, le challenge spécial de l'arène des robots et le challenge spécial de l'arène des androïdes. On va pas les faire maintenant parce que vu l'heure et le temps que ça risque de prendre, je suis pas sûr que tu puisses y arriver vite. Pardon, excuse-moi, le ça. On va faire ça maintenant, mais peut-être qu'on trouvera des moments pour se plug là-dessus à un moment ou un autre, à la fin ou au début d'autres streams. Trop long. En tout cas, c'était le dernier stream complètement dédié à NieR Automata. Je pense que ce que je vais faire, c'est que dans mon coin, je vais me level up jusqu'au niveau 99 aussi. Parce que la dernière raid, ça a l'air trop chaud si on ne l'est pas. Et encore, même en l'étant, ça va être méga chaud. Et voilà, on pourra prendre le temps de regarder ça à ce moment-là, la dernière petite surprise. Peut-être que le stream récap, ça sera NieR Automata. Ça sera le meilleur moment pour faire ça en vrai. Vu que l'idée, c'est qu'à la fin de ce stream-là, on effacera toutes les données de Automata. Mais donc, on se retrouvera la semaine prochaine. Il faut encore que je vous dise quand. Follow la chaîne, activez la cloche, ce genre de trucs. Et vous aurez la notif quand ça commencera. Voilà. Là-dessus, passez un très bon week-end. Merci d'avoir suivi le stream. C'était pas un stream très animé, mais c'était important à faire, je trouvais. Donc voilà. Allez, ciao.